Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show where, after the collision, we sift through
the wreckage.
You threw me off.
Eight air Jimmy.
How are you? That's funny. I'm good. I couldn't do that wreckage right after you because you topped it off with the longest wreckage so far on this show. But as you heard, I am your host, Jimmy T. That is the vet, Jamie Williams. And we are here right here on channelattitude.com via Hambian Media Group for the wreckage. And dude, before we get into the news and stuff like that, I just want to say one thing about this show. This was a show that felt so pointless in a way. It was probably one of the most pointless collisions I've seen in a long time. When I say pointless, nothing felt, how do I put it? Nothing felt like it meant anything, dude, if that makes any sense.
I believe, I guess the impression I got was that it was like they were reminding you about everything that was going on leading up to Double or Nothing, but the stuff that was going on at the time was just there to remind you and was not actually had anything to do with it currently. It's like, oh yeah, remember Double or Nothing coming up because, you know, Will Ospreay's a guy. He's going to be a guy. And this is a match he's having, but who cares about this match because it's Double or Nothing when he faces Roderick Strong. But who cares about Shane Taylor? Nobody likes him anyways. He's just here to do the job. But Will Ospreay's gonna face Roderick Strong. You know, it was that kind of a. They were trying to promote their upcoming pay-per-view, but at the expense of, you know, the real-time show.
Oh man, just weird. So not that the show was so bad, you know, in terms of matchups, but we'll get into that. But before we do get into it proper, let's talk a bit of news, and we are still going to keep with AEW. But have you heard about Ricky Starks on not having answers for his current AEW absence, vet?
A little bit. Can you perhaps provide any further details? Because I didn't. I just heard a little bit of like people rumbling about it.
Well, I will actually. So basically, what culture? Wrestling.
Oh boy.
Held a recent interview. I know.
Maybe
I can't stand these guys.
Right here.
I honestly I can't stand What Culture Wrestling. It's
my God.
The lowest of the low to me.
This is why you hate being compared to English people, right?
Oh my God, bro. And you know what sucks? Just on that, actually, that you bring it up. Have you noticed all those sort of friggin' websites are all English, like based or Irish, if you know what I mean? Even on YouTube as well, like all those wrestling bios and WrestleLamia and all that shit. It's all British fucking people that do it. It's weird.
They love some wrestling, I guess.
they love it. They love it a lot. I mean, which is great. We all love professional wrestling.
Do they get let me ask you this. I don't know how much you know since you're not really English, but do they get super hype up for like Rev Pro and the shit that's local to them too, or do they only mark out for the stuff that they don't have that's overseas?
Actually, they do. Especially ICW in Scotland. They love that shit, right? They sell it out all the time. It's probably the biggest promotion in the UK, in my opinion. And Rev Pro, yeah, they love it. But when you watch Rev Pro, first of all, I'm sure you can, attest to this and agree. But their production is so pathetic, especially their audio. When I hear bad audio, dude, it's one thing with bad video, but bad audio annoys the shit out of me. When I say it annoys the shit out of me, it just annoys me bad. And Rev Pro is just bad when it comes to audio and video, to be fair. So when production is that bad, I can't watch it, man. It's just, it takes me away from it. I'd rather be there than having to watch it on television, say. And it's the same with even MLW. As good as it kind of looks, their production's annoying. Like, I hate when the ring's way too loud, for example. All you hear is bang, 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 bang. You know, it just, I've got a short attention span as it is, as you know, Vet. And that, again, just, my attention just starts going to the mat, just the sound of the mat. bang, bang, and I just can't pay attention.
Yeah, and after like 2+ decades, every time TNA goes live, they still have audio and technical problems. Still to this day, like they're just, granted it's not the same company it was, but still like now, all their live events, when the rare occasions they are live, just there's always some, audio issue.
I just want to shout out to Frank's pickle barrels ass, but he says don't put the Irish with them fucking English. Well, first of all, half of the Irish are part of the UK, so hey, just saying.
I assume that Frank is intimating that because he is of Irish heritage that he doesn't want to be grouped in with them. But let's face it. Look, Frank, you're not really Irish, okay? I'm not really Irish. We may have the Irish genes, but we're not like Seamus Irish. We're not the man Irish.
Well, definitely not that. But aren't you entertained? I mean, come on. And Frank, I thought you were Italian, bro. I thought, isn't he Italian? Or is he half Irish, half Italian?
I don't know. Seems pretty white to me. But regardless,
you're funny.
I think we were talking about what culture was about to say something about Ricky Starks.
Right, about Ricky Starks. So yeah, let's get back to that. So back to the boring old Brits. No offense, we love you guys. They held a recent interview with Ricky Starks, and one of the topics discussed included Starks' thoughts about the potential of him returning at AEW's upcoming Double or Nothing 2024 event. He goes on to say, I don't know, I would hope so, but I really don't know. Things are, and he pauses, every time I always predict something to go some way, it doesn't end up going that way. And it's kind of just leaves me being like, well, just figure it out and see. I really have no clue. It's just a very interesting time for me. I feel like I wish that I was on Dynamite, or I wish I was on Dynasty. I wish I was on these things, but I think at a certain point, just for my own sanity, I can't go too crazy about it because the proof is in my work and my effort. And I've constantly given, and he repeats it for some reason, I've constantly given 1,000% effort. So at a certain point, it's not in my control. I think that's the biggest lesson I have. Things are just not in my control, but the things that are, I tried the hardest. That's the first part, and I'll get to the second part. But what do you think so far, Vent?
I don't know. I would hope that Ricky Starks knows what I'm about to say already, and he doesn't need me to say it. But just in case that he or anybody else is confused about this, there's a reason why everything's happening the way it's happening. It has nothing to do with your hard work and your efforts. It's just the fact 100%. That you're a CM Punk guy and a Cody guy and everybody that's not their guy and the people that are there that are still making the decisions and may even be coercing or convincing a certain owner into doing things their way. That's the reason why you're getting what you're getting and how you're getting it. Let's make no mistake.
He knows that. No, absolutely
I mean,
not.
I assume it should be obvious to him, but like sometimes when these people are like, you can't see the forest for the trees situation, when you're in the middle of it, maybe you don't really see what's going on as much because they're so good at hiding it from you. But when you're taking a step back like us and looking at the whole picture, it's easier for us to see what we think should be obvious to other people.
Right.
But, now on the stuff that I can put on Ricky Starks, I could just say that he is like, every time he's in a match that I watch, something weird happens that's his fault. And I don't know why, like whether it's him getting hurt, him messing up a spot, just like weird shit happens but I mean, obviously that's not the reason why whatever, political things are going on. Cause if that was the case, then, Commander and Vikingo had never been allowed to have more than one match or, like, so it can't just be that. But yeah, I think everybody knows, or everybody should know the real reasons why he's not on TV, even though he's healthy.
Do you think he's a bit of I don't want to say troublemaker, but a good example, and we did cover it on this very show, was him and Adam Copeland. If you remember that little back and forth where it looked like they were shooting from the hip just a little bit. where it got a little personal. I don't know if you remember. This is a few months back
I
now.
remember it. Of course I remember it. But that could have been something. But I think that's the kind of thing where, I mean, again, don't take my word for it. This is the bird's eye view looking at the whole picture, but I don't know any of the details. That's the kind of thing that if that happens, like Ricky Starks tries to go into business for himself a little bit,
sure,
out there live on the air, Edge goes into business back and they do a little bit, but that's the kind of thing that those guys can talk about it when they get in the back and squash it right then. Seems like the kind of thing that could happen, and it probably would happen. He'd be like, Edge might have been like, hey, what's up? You know, and then he maybe shoved Ricky Starks and put him in a front face lock or whatever. But, you know, that. Well, obviously not, because we know what happens to those people, right?
Exactly.
You're
a character vet.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, like, I that could be it. That could be it too. It could be both those things. It could have been like, I don't know. Could that be the Young Bucks trying to like curry favor with Edge too? Like, hey, look, we took care of it.
Possibly. For sure. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, he's AEW all the way right now. I'm talking about Edge, that is. But he does give his thoughts on his current absence from AEW. And this is what he had to say, funny enough, Vet. He says, I'm not hurt.
He's against it?
Well, he says he's not hurt. Even that night on Collision, I specifically stated, hey, I'm not hurt. I was just being cautious about it because at the moment, I didn't know what was happening, especially with this side of my body. So I wasn't hurt. I was never put on an injury list or anything like that. So I have no answers. People often ask me all the time, well, why aren't you? And he just says, I don't know. I have no clue. This isn't up to me. It does suck, obviously, to not be on TV, but the supporting people online and people sending me messages is very, very sweet and endearing and very encouraging also from that standpoint. And that's quote unquote, that's it. As far as his absence, and we just touched on it. But, you know, come on, bro. Stop playing dumb, Ricky. You know why. I mean, and I personally think he wants out, dude. It just looks like he just doesn't want to be there, man. And, you know, more power to him if that's what he wants. Hopefully, WWE, you know, use him pretty well. But I can see him being like a decent star, especially in NXT. But, I mean, is he too small for WWE in a way? I know there's a lot of smaller guys. But, you know, I think if he was bigger, he could be a big star. He's got a lot of things ticked, you know, in the right boxes. It's just his size kind of lets him down a little bit.
I think more important than his size per se, which could be an issue, but it's just that everything else isn't good enough to overcome that. I'd like to welcome back HateBot, which I haven't seen in a while. And he has a comment that says, Starks has that Austin Aries energy. He thinks he's over, but he's definitely not. Which, that's an interesting comparison, right?
That's a good comparison.
Here's the thing. Like, whatever you think about Austin Aries personally, he was fucking good. Ricky Starks is no Austin Aries. He is no Austin Aries. Regardless of what you think, like I said, of his professionalism or whatever else, like... And I'm not just saying like he's good because he could do a cool springboard or something. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Austin Aries knows how to work. He knows how to talk. He knows how to present himself so that even though he is a smaller guy, he's
exactly.
He's leaning into it while still having the chip on his shoulder. But he's not doing like the Johnny Gargano thing where he makes guys 3 times his size take bumps for him. You know, he's still working within the system and things like that.
Right. I get you.
But yeah, like if Austin Aries and Ricky Starks were to go back and forth, Austin Aries would destroy him on the microphone easily. So
I agree.
So that's the thing. Like, but he was also Austin Aries was in WWE at the time when they put a somewhat of a focus on a division, the 205 Live.
Right, and he was getting hot, dude, at one stage. Right.
Yeah, so at least he got to do that and be on color commentator with commentary, which was very funny if you ever listened to that.
He was good.
Him getting a banana over. Let's see Ricky Starks get a banana over, right? So,
Great point.
so anyway, but I find that to be an interesting comparison because you look at a guy who kind of succeeded in a time where they were definitely against having more guys Austin Aries size, even though that's why they had their own division, because they signed so many smaller guys that they had to do something with them all. And now Ricky Starks, I don't think, going to the WWE landscape, I just don't think he has what it takes to get himself over, even if they gave him a push.
No, I agree. And that's why, for some reason, if he does, which I'm sure he will, sign up with WWE, I can see him just being a mainstay in NXT, dude, for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And
but
that's how they're going to view him.
Out of you if you they don't want people that are in NXT for 5 years. They're releasing people that are in NXT for 5 years. So, I just think that, like, again, Ricky Starks stands out because look where he was, NWA, right? He stood out in NWA, right? Because they were just getting that off the ground with the Billy Corgan version, and he was like a big part of that. But you even just to stick him with AEW, he outshined some guys in AEW when they first started. But now, like, everything is kind of settled down to be what it's going to be. And some guys that shine brightly on a smaller stage will get overshadowed in a bigger stage, I think.
I agree 100%. And keeping on the negativity of wrestlers seeming they want out of AEW, let's move on to Takeshita on working in AEW and why he feels kind of slighted. And this is what he had to say, funny enough, and he was talking to DDT Pro Wrestling, apparently, in a recent interview. He goes on to say, since arriving in America, if you were to ask me what I found enjoyable, there's been nothing. In my heart, I've already thrown away the joys of wrestling, said Takeshita. Everyone felt like they're having fun wrestling here in Japan. I didn't had any fun wrestling ever since I got to America. The effort was bearing fruit. I guess the translation's a bit off here. But anyway, he says the effort was bearing fruit, but I didn't feel the enjoyment. It was the most mentally exhausting period in all of 12 years of my wrestling career. He continues on by saying that his matches have been well received despite him not having fun in the ring. Takeshita also highlighted the challenges of wrestling in the US, asserting that the American audience may not be keen to watch an Asian wrestle on television. He continues saying, I thought hard work could cover for everything else before getting there. If I showed how good I am, I could get more airtime. But there are other aspects that come to play when competing here in America. For example, he said discrimination is not the word here, but unfortunately, there's a lack of space for an Asian person to be on a TV show, especially watched by Americans, said the former KOD open weight champion. That's crazy hearing that. And you know what? I don't actually agree with half the shit he says, but please, Vet, please give us your take.
Well, I have to say, first of all, he's probably confused that while everybody in AEW that he's wrestling is maybe the size and the weight of a blow-up doll, they are not actually blow-up dolls, and they do move independently. So he probably was confused right off the bat when he got here. Listen, DDT is not a real promotion, okay? So anybody that goes from that to a roster of like 300 people, yeah. Newsflash to Takeshita. Everybody in AEW is saying the same thing you are about themselves. You know, like what's the, you know, we're going to talk about Brian Cage later. What do you think Brian Cage thinks of a guy like him, you know, having to settle for the main event of Rampage or whatever on a random, not even go home pay-per-view night? Like, that's the first difference. Like, what is the biggest DDT's roster has ever been?
I have no idea. Probably what, 10? I mean, seriously.
I don't. I know nobody can name. Like, you'd have to go into DDT's all-time alumni to name 10 people. Nobody could name 10 people right off the bat now.
No, you're right.
So
It's true.
you take a guy with good size and a good physique and athletic and has a certain look, and you bring him into AEW and he kind of stands out. But it doesn't have as much to do with being an Asian on television, because they brought in a lot of Asians on television and a lot of them were better than you, and they've been doing it longer than you. And
shit.
they were just there for a visit and they signed you. So that just shows you right there, like, things are not quite as they probably should be. Like, you should be putting more effort into the guys that you signed and that you pay a contract. And they put him on a lot of shows. He was just the Japanese, Daniel Garcia, in that he always ended up in some main event on television that nobody wanted to see. And it wasn't because it was you per se, or it was you as an Asian. It's the same reason we don't want to see Daniel Garcia either, because they haven't done anything with you to make us want to see you. And they're going about it backwards, rather than giving somebody a slow rise through the ranks and getting people excited for you. They push you over the top, and then people get sick of you before they even know who you are. So that is not a unique situation to Takeshita. I mean, like, if you think Takeshita's upset, how do you think Will Hobbs feels? Or, even just look at the other people in the Don Callis family. Like,
facts, man.
Kyle Fletcher is the Ring of Honor television champion, and he's only on TV to do jobs to guys in non-title matches. Like
Crazy,
and I mean AEW TV. On Ring of Honor, he can beat somebody, but in AEW, he brings his Ring of Honor title to lose. You think he's happy about that? Is that Australian bias? I don't know. The whole issue is they have too many people under contract to reasonably book everybody. And guess what? That's true in the WWE too. Everything in WWE sucks right now, and they have too many guys that are good enough to be in the main event, and they don't have enough ideas for any of them.
WWE is really stacked up the top right now. It's true.
Yeah. So I think that's what, like, if he's saying he's not having fun, like, hey, I'm sorry, that sucks. Sorry you're not having fun, buddy.
Yeah, well.
But at the same time, your situation is not unique. However, in fairness, they're interviewing you, so you just have to answer the questions about yourself. But, like, it does come across out of context. And I know the only reason we're getting this story, because nobody gives a shit about the DDT promotion interviewing a former wrestler of theirs.
Right.
The only reason that this is even a story is so that people can continue the AEW sucks and everybody there's unhappy narrative. So even if that's a true narrative, that's the reason we're hearing it. Don't act like we care about DDT's reporting. Don't act like we care about Takeshita's feelings. The only reason this is in the news is so that people can continue their narrative.
Well, it's funny because the AEW narrative, it's all crickets when you bring that up. They don't want to acknowledge that. But it's interesting because it seems like there's so many guys in that locker room that seem unhappy, dude. And I can understand why, obviously. But like you said, they've signed one too many talents. And that's an issue, you know what I mean? But like in WWE, as you brought up, with WWE, like, for example, LA Knight, right, is a great example. Mm-hmm. Like, his timing, I think, he's like at the right place, wrong time, if that makes any sense, right? Where now they're sort of dialing him back, even though the fans are still hot with him, but you can see it's going to turn into frustration, I think, with LA Knight, because right now they've just got too many guys at that top end where right now it's not the time for LA Knight to actually be a contender for the World Championship or either one of the championships that is.
But
I assume, but
but he already contended for the world championship.
Right, and he lost. So
yeah, so
technically,
you go back in the rotation and you get a turn later. You know, you come back and get another turn. I mean, that's the same thing you could say for everybody that ever faced Roman Reigns. It's like, goddamn, they got beat, and now you got to get back in line.
Hey, so, and it would have been a good payday too.
Yeah, dude, you think LA Knight cares that he didn't win the WWE Championship in that match with Roman? Of course, he's fine with the money because the money's the same. So
for sure,
you know, and I'm sure he would like to be champion. I'm sure everybody would like to be champion, but they got to wait their turn. And when it's your time, LA Knight has to prepare for the eventuality that perhaps everybody on the roster will get injured and they have no choice but to put the belt on him. So you always have to prepare with that in mind. You always have to prepare to be ready. And yes, I did say that. That wasn't a mistake. Prepare to be ready. Because you never know what's going to happen, and you could be the next man up. So, LA Knight is probably, I think LA Knight first and foremost, I don't think he's probably not as displeased with his push as all of his fans seem to be. But remember, it's still a push, and he gets to be LA Knight. When he got called up, he wasn't even that. You know?
It was Max Dupree.
Right.
Remember that?
Yeah, he could easily go back to that, right? So he's probably very happy. And for the record, I did like that him and Carmelo Hayes on SmackDown this week. I thought that was really
brilliant.
Good. Because they went back to it. Not only did they get one, but they went back to it again. So it's like, that's something we've been saying, like, follow up. Like, why do you only talk to one person once every night and then they're gone forever? Like, follow up on stuff. And they did that. And I thought that was the highlight of SmackDown.
I actually enjoyed SmackDown for some weird reason last night or the day before. For some reason, I really enjoyed the whole show other than the DIY match. And even though that wasn't a bad match per se, but I felt like everyone was kind of on for that show. And ironically, it was in Jacksonville, which is kind of funny. And the crowd was kind of hot too, which is odd. But in saying that, HateBot says in the chat, lol at Swerve having to 50-50 with Cage for 30 minutes this week. Isn't this the guy who lost to 150-pound high schoolers in the half time combined? Also a woman. Did he? I actually don't remember.
I guess he's referring to Tessa Blanchard back in.
Oh yeah, true. He did
Impact.
Actually lose to Tessa. That's true.
There was probably audio issues on that match too.
Yeah, I mean, TNA, they've always annoyed me with the ring sounds as well. Like I was saying before, just too loud, guys. And have they turned on the lights yet, Vent?
Sometimes they turn them on. Sometimes they leave them off. I don't know.
They're saving.
Maybe they forget to pack the
power.
lights in their little truck sometimes, and they have to make do with what they have. But anyway, just to put a button on the Takeshita thing, it's like, hey, look, man, just stick it out and wait your turn. Prepare to be ready, and you never know, they might actually do something. But I mean, that's the thing. Guaranteed money changes a lot, right? Because
absolutely,
it may not make you happy that you're getting paid that obscene amount of money, whatever it is. But you can be happy later when it's all said and done, if that's the case.
Oh, absolutely. But moving on to actually WWE news. Now, I'm a little confused, man. I said it one way. I don't know what's true and what's not now. Mm-hmm. Did you hear about the whole Tiffany Stratton situation with Jade Cargill?
Is this the one where somebody posted a video, or she posted somebody's video of her punching Jade off the apron? Was this a house show, like a live event or something?
At a house show, right? That's what I read.
Because I would have remembered this spot on TV, but
yeah, it wasn't on TV. It was at a house show.
Right. So I saw that, and I didn't think anything of it until I looked again and saw, like, apparently there's some audio on this thing that's questionable, which is why she had to delete it.
Well, it was very questionable, and if anyone doesn't know, apparently she called her a black bee. So, yeah.
Are we sure this wasn't Brandy yelling from the crowd?
Well, see, that's the thing, because
Brandy Rhodes? This is Brandy Rhodes?
Yeah. Hatebot said, there you go. Thank you, Hatebot. There you go.
A
He
black
said it
bith.
for us. Bith, whatever that is.
You son of a bith.
But anyway, I got told though, funny enough, or someone in the comments apparently corrected me. This is why I'm confused. As far as I know, this was legit, right? But yeah, like someone in the comments from Smack Attack, Sir Jam, I saw your comment, so shout outs to him, saying that it was a fake video or some shit. But I could have sworn it wasn't. That's the thing. So I don't know what to think over here, man. I'm pretty
what
sure
do you
it
mean
wasn't
fake video? The video was real. Perhaps somebody put their own audio on it. You know,
maybe,
like,
but as far as I
that.
know, that wasn't the case though. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. So now I'm second guessing what I was reading.
But the point is that it wasn't whoever said it. It wasn't Tiffany Stratton, right?
I guess not.
Supposedly it was a fan that would have been there, if anybody. It would have been a fan that was in the front row, but I don't know. Or maybe Tiffany just called her a bitch and it sounded like she said black bitch. I don't know, because I didn't hear it. I only saw the little video.
Yeah, well, apparently it was made by a fan, according to Frank's Pickle Barrel Ass. But did she post it, Frank? Because if she posted it, then to me it's like her doing it anyway, saying it. Why post it for?
Maybe she didn't listen and she just saw the video and was like, I'll post this. Because hey, I'll be honest, half the shit I see, like when I'm scrolling, I do not turn the audio on. Like I do not care.
I swear to God.
You know? Like, especially if you're out in public, like you're not going to be like listening to a Twitter clip. So you'll just like watch it silently and then be like, you'll just either guess what they said or maybe they have captions. But so I don't know. Funny. Maybe she did that. I don't know. But yeah, it's easy for a fan to like remix something.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, but
well, whatever the case, she did repost it. That's what matters. The fact that she did repost it is what makes it controversial, because that's like agreeing with, you know, whoever made that video. But it felt like I'm sure you watched the match between Tiffy and what's it called, Bianca Belair on SmackDown, right? Excuse me.
Watch it is a strong
word.
You
know what I mean. You know, but you were aware of it, right?
I was aware that it happened. Yes, I didn't watch any really parts of it.
Well, did you see her entrance, for example? And I'm talking about Tiffany Stratton.
Did she say it's Tiffy time?
Well, no, actually she didn't, but she looked kind of nervous and maybe embarrassed to an extent. And I felt like in that match, there was a few potatoes getting thrown around. Ironically, that's
by Bianca. Are you saying?
Yeah, no shit, dude. It felt like she was throwing a few potatoes, which made it even more interesting. So, and then I'll get told it was a fan and blah blah blah. I don't know, man. There's all sorts of reports when it comes to that. All I know is she did repost it, but it was getting reported like she was the one that did it at first. So, I don't know, man. It's a bit confusing, and the damn phone keeps going off. If you can hear that. My apologies.
But if I can't hear it, but I don't know if anybody else can. Is your phone saying black bitch by any chance? Or
it's not. It's just notification. Because as I was telling you,
it's just HateBot. Is HateBot putting that in with AI? Okay.
Well, that's like what Cold Blooded was bringing up, saying they can do crazy things with AI these days, which absolutely they can, man. And
yeah, we've all seen people waste way too much time with that. So this would not be. Hey, look, man, here's the thing about Tiffany, right? She's going to get a lot of attention and chatter just because of her gimmick alone, regardless of what type of person she really is or isn't, which, as I've been watching her for years now, like, I still am not sure what kind of a person she actually is. I only know of her gimmick. And when she does an interview like a Chris Van Vliet or something, she's going to be in gimmick pretty much. So, like...
Right.
I don't really know what she really thinks, and I don't care until it becomes something that's very obvious. So
right,
I'll say it's much ado about nothing and let it slide. And yeah.
Well, it caused a bit of controversy. Sorry, online, especially with a few of our boys that we know of personally. I won't mention their names, but
Doesn't
it caused a lot of drama.
Doesn't everything cause controversy?
Well, apparently controversy creates cash, according to Bischoff. So there you go. Well, that was really the main news that I wanted to talk about. I mean, there's other little tidbits here and there, but I don't think they're that worthy to really talk about, Vet. Unless
apparently Ruby Soho got married.
Oh yeah, well, see, I saw that to Parker. I mean,
AEW
who cares?
relevant.
I know, but like, come on, like, you know, I thought this was
Ruby
a work,
Soho
bro.
is a hoe no mo. She's got to put her
Aren't
hoe
they
days
the
behind
most-
her now. She's a married woman.
Dude, isn't that not? Are they not the most odd couple you've ever seen in your life, man? I mean, first of all,
No,
I
I've seen
thought-
way odder couples.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
well, especially in the wrestling scene. Have you seen any weird shit over there?
Probably, yeah.
Well, look, man. I thought this was all a work for real, man. I thought that it was just a work. Even with the baby announcement, I'm like, nah, they're working everybody, man. And a part of me still feels that way. I don't even think they're together in real life. I could be wrong, right? I probably am wrong. I just don't see how them two. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just me. Maybe I'm weird like that, but they just seem so not compatible. But if they are together, good on them, and I hope they're happy. But damn, did that escalate real fast? I mean,
I don't want
seriously.
that baby to be born a bastard. Which, as we all know
Don't
from
get me
Vince McMahon,
started.
is the worst thing you could possibly be, right? So,
Well, speaking of Vince, there was a bit of news about him and his, stupid shit that he's going through. But I don't know if it's that relevant. I can't touch on it, I guess. I just got to go back to it for a moment. But I don't know, man. Is the one thing about this court case, Vet? I mean, what's going on? Like, how long is this thing going to last for? Like,
it hasn't even started.
well, that's what I'm saying. What is all this shit? Like, what's all this right now? What's going on exactly?
What's going on exactly is they're trying to. This is going to try to get dragged out as much as possible
For possible
by Vince's
payout?
side, so that they can. They're going to try to buy as much time as they can to come up with as much shit as they can because they know that they're fucking guilty. That's my assessment of it.
Okay. All right.
Their behaviors are not the behaviors of innocent people.
Oh,
so
hell no.
you just look at what they're doing versus what they're saying, and then I can just assume that they're trying to like delay it, or they're trying to move for arbitration, like private arbitration, and these aren't things that, like, if you proclaim your innocence, you would need to do. So he's probably just going to drag it out and delay it as long as he can, so that maybe, with any luck, before anything happens, maybe he'll pass away or something. Like, maybe he'll die of old age before he ever gets convicted of anything. Who knows?
This motherfucker will never die. Fucking, I'm telling you, you end up living till 100 and something, bro. I mean, his mum fucking, didn't pass away until like 100 and what was she, 105 or some shit.
Or, in fairness, like, his mom didn't do steroids for 40 years either.
True. Actually, his mum also was an avid tennis player. I remember seeing videos of her playing tennis, supposedly. So she looks fit too, dude. I'm not gonna lie. For her age, she didn't look too bad. I didn't see her obviously in her hundreds, but she was in her 80s and she didn't look bad. And when I say that, I'm not saying she's hot. Yeah, I don't have anything for old ladies. Just saying.
Why did my mind just go to Media M5 just now?
Yeah,
Like him making a comment about Vince McMahon's mom.
100%. There you go. That's probably why I brought it up. He made me do it. But yeah, no, again, man, like RIP to Mikey, man. We already miss you, man, and your comments. But see, you're right. It's 100%. He
He'll
would have said
never
something.
be gone. He'll never be gone.
Never be gone.
It'll
for
never
sure.
be over.
Never, as a matter of fact. But that's all the major news, dude. And like I said, everything else is just dumb shit, really. There's nothing else really to talk about. like I said, I can bring up all sorts of crap, but it's just crap. And here at HMG, we don't just talk about irrelevant shit. So,
Bro, I saw a Wrestling Inc. article headline that said The Undertaker outlines what he likes to talk about on his podcast. It's like, motherfucker,
really?
just listen
Come
to
on.
it if you care. If you care what he likes to talk about, go listen to it. Why is this news?
That's what I mean, dude. Like, there's so much crap these days. It's a joke. And look, The Undertaker's podcast is half decent. I listened to one episode. I don't think I've got time to listen to more. Already, just, it's hard enough keeping up with certain podcasts, let alone even more. There's too much, man. There's way too many, like wrestlers especially. They have their own shows, but they're all popular. And no, Dunha, whoever that is in the chat, asking if they want to see streamers getting naked. No, not here, buddy. Not here. We've got spam. Speaking of Medium 5.
Which chat is that in? Twitch?
From the Twitch. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Speaking of Hitman.
Twitch is infested with bots. I'm starting to feel like a dark sky up here. I'm gonna clutch my person.
Actually, did you hear about her getting abused about her backside apparently on Dynamite, I think?
I thought it was the Ring of Honor tape.
Oh, it could have been Ring of Honor, actually. You're right. I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this girl, I'm sorry. Remember I told you about that video going around? I'm only famous because of my ass and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly what I think of. When you come out dressed like that, girl, expect comments from the fans in the crowd. I'm sorry. Like, it is what it is, man. As long as he didn't touch you, I'm just saying.
Well, now, in fairness, supposedly this person was inebriated and supposedly they were there with their young child.
Right.
So it does put a different spin on it. Like, we don't want to be the guys that say, well, look how she's dressed. Right. Here's what I think is funny. I just want to see if you agree with me, Jimmy, which you often do, but don't do it for my sake. Okay. You tell me if this makes sense to you. So for all the people that because poor Dark Sky is not accustomed to being catcalled at a wrestling match or whatever, even though I'm sure since her debut, she's probably been getting it, right? But for whatever reason, like when that's the problem, people's reaction to her is suck it up. Welcome to the business, honey. All this type of stuff. Like they have no patience for her having any feelings, whatever, as a human being, right? Like they do not care, right? Okay. Now you asked me the other day about Jimmy Smith's comments about Ronda Rousey, right? Where he said production assistants and stuff, like she didn't treat them well and they were rooting for her to get knocked out. So wait a minute. So am I not supposed to say to the production assistants, hey, suck it up. A celebrity was rude to you. You had to put up with a star. Like, welcome to the business, honey.
Right.
Like let's put it this way. A woman can't do anything right. She can't have her ass out, right? And then not be cool with people making comments about her, or she can't be a mega fighting superstar setting box office records for her sport or whatever that didn't even exist in UFC before her and be rude to a production assistant, allegedly.
Yeah.
Like neither one is fine because it's a woman, right? The guy who's drunk and yelling at Dark Sky he's fine. And the production assistant is okay to have their feelings hurt by Ronda Rousey because she was rude to him, right? You see how does that sound like a double standard to you, or
it is?
Am I just crazy?
No. And I'm not saying this because it's you, but you're right. It is a double standard, dude. That's the whole problem in wrestling today, in general. Not just that and shit about that, but just everything. Even the IWC arguing amongst each other. Hey, WWE. There's a whole double standard going on even there, and they don't even realize it. You know what I mean? Which makes it even more frustrating. But that's pro wrestling in 2024, bro, and just today in general. There's double standards across the whole board in terms of, like you just said, with the production having their feelings hurt, to Dark Sky. having her feelings hurt, and everything is just off right now, man.
We all have our feelings hurt.
That's it, man. Suck it up.
And for the record, I'm cool with Ronda Rousey doing what she does, and I'm cool with Sky Blue doing what she does. You know, I'm cool with it, but I don't need to try to roast them because of something that I allegedly think. And and as Frank says, can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Well, that's the whole thing, Frank. Like, who says Sky Blue is a hoe? She's dressed that way for your benefit. Doesn't mean she's because you wear a certain size of shorts doesn't make you a hoe, but you are selling. You are presenting yourself on television, and when guys do it, it's a character, but when women do it, they're a hoe, right? Like that's another double standard. So, you know, you're supposed to just look and enjoy. You're not supposed to be drunk with your kids yelling at it. That's
well, you know. Apparently he didn't mean her, but then who do you mean?
Yeah, I don't know who else. Ronda Rousey.
And she's not a
Can't turn a fighter into a farmer. I don't know. Like, I don't know what the...
Wait. Wasn't she a farmer at one stage or some shit? I mean, now she's a farmer.
She got her her farm and everything with Travis. And, you know, they raising animals and stuff and crops.
And cool. Dude. Have you seen they're keeping everything organic over there, bro? Like, I mean, everything. Oh, no, please. Ronda, come on, Frank. God damn it, Frank. You know better than that. But I will say this about Ronda, and I said it last time pretty much, but her attitude stinks though, dude. Like, look, I don't know her personally, but from what I gather from all the interviews I've watched and from what I've read and whatnot, she just comes, and from what others say, she just comes across as the high horse type of, you know, woman that thinks her shit don't stink in a way. And a lot of people have been calling her out lately, and she comes across like she is full of excuses. And that's the part where I think she hasn't gotten over her losses or her time in WWE. I think she needs to go full circle and accept what's happened with her. Of course, she's going to go down as one of the best. Girl, you are one of the best, but you lost eventually.
Well, yeah, I mean, Well, personally, I think she's cool, and I do think that she's accepted it. But that's the thing. We're assuming that she didn't because of what other people are saying. I mean, I read it in her own words. Like, I read the book, you know.
I haven't read the book.
Well, it might change people's minds if they actually read the book, and then you can make up your own mind if she's making excuses or not. But, I mean, all I know is...
Elaborate a little more. I'd like to hear this, actually.
Well, go buy the book, man. I didn't come here to read you Ronda Rousey's book. But essentially,
but you know.
Well, but essentially, like, you know, if assuming she's telling the truth about the things that she was going through at the time, like she said she got fucked up on concussions back when she was learning judo as a child.
I can see that.
And she's been dealing with that stuff. Now, you could call that an excuse. I mean, but if it's true, what is she supposed to say? So she admitted that the reason that she got rocked in that Holly Holm fight was because, you know, she got caught and she was trying not to get caught and she got caught.
Okay. Interesting.
And she talked for chapters about how fucked up she was emotionally after that, because her whole thing was she wanted to be undefeated. And now that she didn't have undefeated, she was also talking about having to take fights on short notice and everything that led up to that fight and everything like that. Now, again, people that don't like her are going to say those are excuses. But if it's true, it's true. You know, her accepting a fight on Dana White's timeline, is it an excuse or is that just what happened? I don't know. But the point is, you know, when it comes to the WWE part of it, which that's the only time anybody else cared, you know, is when she becomes a wrestler, and then they try to say how she doesn't really care about wrestling and all this other stuff. All she did was say the same things that I've been telling you guys for years. When I say it, you know, I'm telling you. When she confirms it, oh, she never liked wrestling anyway. Like,
no, she loved wrestling. Actually,
she's just telling you. She's telling you what happened, and from her side of it, she was cool with everybody there. Like, as far as the women were concerned, everybody she put over everybody from Charlotte to Becky to the Bellas to Liv Morgan to everybody she liked, Nia Jax, like everybody that she liked, and the people that, the people that she didn't like, or that she said she didn't like, they're all, about to be defending themselves in a civil suit, as long as they can delay it. So, I don't know. It's just a matter of perspective of how far people want to go into looking at. But isn't that really just the whole issue with what you were saying too about the tribalism and the fans and stuff? Like, they like what they like, they don't like what they don't like. They'll make excuses for the people they like, but the people they don't like, everything they say is an excuse. So it's, I don't know.
Double standards, dude. It's sad.
Double standards.
It is what it is. But the one thing about Ronda, and I've always felt like, because she lost in my neck of the woods in Melbourne, Australia, right? Her first loss. I always said to myself, man, she must hate it here now. She'll never want to come back here ever again. She did come back, funny enough. Thank God. But I've always felt like she must look at this place and think of Holly Holm. You know what I mean? And be like, fuck Australia, fuck Melbourne. I never want to be here ever again. That's how that's how I took it. And Frank, what are you trying to say, bro?
She had a chapter when she talked about when she went back to Melbourne with WWE, and
I was there. That's why, and I thought of that.
They had her in the same hotel room.
Oh no, dude, they didn't, bro.
That was a chapter too. So
no,
hey man, I recommend that book.
No way.
Whether you like Ronda or don't like Ronda, it's a good book. You might want to check it out. So
now I'm intrigued. So they no shit put her in the same hotel room when she came back.
And I'll answer one more. I'll answer one more question because Frank asked a question.
Okay.
And the rest of it, you're gonna have to buy the fucking book yourself.
Oh damn it!
He said, "Is greed for money part of it? I get taking fighters short notice. The money big, but she was already loaded with cash." Okay. Well, according to her, okay, so take it with however much salt you want to, depending on your fandom of Ronda. But she says that when she signed with UFC, because Dana was. Remember Dana said there would never be women fighting.
He hated women's fighting, right? Exactly.
But once she got over in Strikeforce or whatever, he was like, well, I'll just start a division and make you the champion, right? They gave her the belt like Eric Bischoff and Triple H. He's like, here's your belt.
Technically, she was already champion in Strikeforce when they bought it out.
Right, but that doesn't have anything to do with UFC. They gave her the UFC belt. So
that's true.
She told him at the meeting they had that when she signed with the company, she said, whatever you need, I'll be there. And I guess Dana took it literally. So when he changed fights to short notice or whatever, oh, we need you here. Or, she wasn't getting turnarounds between some of those fights when other people sometimes only fight twice a year. But so she racked up a big undefeated streak in like a short amount of time. And the training and stuff was really grueling on her, in addition to the fact of her trying to work around the fact that she was going to get knocked out if she took a solid hit. So she's training with that in mind. She's like having to train, like, I can't get hit in the head. I can't get hit in the head. And even in training, she can't get hit in the head. So, these were other things. So I think it's more like her sticking to her word to Dana White, saying like, whatever you need, just let me know.
Big mistake.
Never let a promoter know that they got you.
Shit. Well, now you gave it so much more context that now I want to read this book or hear it. However, I get my hands on it. I don't know yet, but the fact that
is hating today. He has got his name. He's like, he's like listing a list of these women like it's no big deal. It's like, well, isn't that all there was? Wasn't that the whole division? Oh, by the way, who beat Holly Holm?
It was what's it called? Amanda Nunes, wasn't it? Was it Cyborg? Who beat Holly Holm? I can't remember her loss.
Misha Tate?
Yeah, and Misha Tate was done and dusted, man.
She beat Holly Holm.
Wow.
What's
who
your
she beat
point?
after that, though? I know,
it doesn't matter. Really it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Ronda beat Misha Tate 3 times.
Yeah, and Misha Tate, like I said, was never that crash. Even though she's put over as one of the, you know, 4 women of women's MMA. But
Right.
really, when you think about it, like, was she really that? She was around during a time where Ronda was just absolutely you know what I mean, just dominating at the time. But yeah, look, fighting is fighting, man. Sometimes you get lucky. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Anything can happen. I don't know if some shit were, like Frank's Pickle Barrel says. Imagine if UFC fights were legit.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
that's how it all goes. Anyway, why are we talking about this? Oh yeah, double standards.
Double standard. No, that was great.
Dark Sky.
Is she 45 here? Dark Sky. Exactly. Wow. I didn't even realize. I know she's the daughter of a preacher, right? Isn't that what she is? But also Hepos says that's, yeah. He's saying that's what I'm saying. All these girls are terrible. Women's MMA should not be a thing. Take that shit back to Invicta. You know what? He's got a point, dude.
We said don't say he's got a point, Jimmy.
I'll tell you why. I'll say
he's
why.
not even real. He's a bot.
That's true.
A bot of hate.
He's not real. A bot of hate, definitely. But isn't 3 love also? If you know what I mean. Yeah, so. he's the hate with love. But in saying that, during that time, when you really break it down, though, he's kind of right. When Ronda was dominating, we didn't have Amanda Nunes yet. We didn't have Cyborg yet. Holly Holm was coming through at the time also. Once those women came along, it changed the game completely. You know, like completely. When Ronda was dominating, there was no one on her level really at all. No one close. Mm-hmm. So I can see what he means by that, and I never thought about it until now. And you know what? There is some truth to that, but no one's pointed that out. Maybe someone should actually say that to Ronda.
Well,
and see
I mean,
what
of
she
course,
says.
if we want to just go back and have the discussion, and again, first we have to pretend that combat sports are legit in general.
Yeah.
And if we want to do that, then we also have to have, if we're having the conversation of who is the best of their era, then that would mean that guys like Bernard Hopkins' entire career was useless because he never beat anybody, or Roy Jones Jr. being the pound for pound greatest doesn't mean anything because he never beat anybody because his era sucked. You know, like
it did, but it did.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Then we have to go back to the entire history books and be like, well, you know, Jack Johnson was only knocking people out because that era was just a bunch of uncoordinated white guys. Like, of course, everybody was only the best of their era because we don't have time machines. So
right, and we think about it, we even had women like Kate Zagano during that time. You know what I mean, as well. You know. Anyway, look, we're not here to talk MMA, but see, Hate's full of love, black love. That he's like,
love
got a black heart. Yeah, love bot.
Love Tron.
Frank says 98% of women never seen Ronda or know any of them.
That's not true. That's not true. People heard of her name at that time, even if they never watched any of her fights or anything. Like, oh, is that girl that fights? They would know.
Well, you know, my girl knows, but that's because of me, really. You know, she's forced. Almost. She's forced to end up like, now she likes wrestling. She used to hate it, man. Now she had to give in, you know what I mean? But anyway.
Damn. Imagine if she watched it when it was good. Oh, wait, it was never good. That's just
when we
best of their era in our era. Like,
dude,
who did Hulk Hogan really beat? You know, like Andre the Giant was washed up when he slammed him. You know, like it doesn't.
Well, he actually was. I mean, let's be honest. Was he not? That was the end of his run. Let's be real. It is what it is. But that's professional wrestling. It's kind of looked at differently, obviously, for obvious reasons. But that's a great point. He really was when you think about it. But anyway, let's go back into pro wrestling. And we were talking about, I think, Dark Sky. But that covers everything. I think we've spoken about everything. That was a good little discussion. I actually enjoyed that a lot. I think it's time, though, because we've hit that hour mark, to sift through the wreckage. And that was brilliant at the start, by the way. Yeah, let's get into it, shall we, Vet?
All right, let's get into it. We're starting off hot. All right, this time I marked out my menu, so like I'll be able to clearly, distinctly tell you what I was eating and what classification it was and whatever, and what I just starved on. Okay, So everybody else's entree probably includes this guy, Will Ospreay.
Oh yeah,
He's elevated, Jimmy.
He's elevated, all right. God, I'm starting to hate these fan base the way they're all screaming out, "Oh, Spray!" It's the karaoke era in professional wrestling, dude. It's getting ridiculous.
Rocky Horror Wrestling Show.
Oh no.
So yeah, it's Will, and he's taking on Shane Taylor. I wonder who's gonna win this match, Jimmy. Who is gonna win? Oh man! But I had Shane Taylor marked here. Shane Taylor is marked here, and I wrote entree. So this is an actual Shane Taylor's an entree. I'm excited for Shane Taylor. Now when Shane Taylor is a menu item for me, I am just accepting it, and I am happy. This is an entree. And he's also got a go-go with him, but what can you do?
Go. Why? Anyway, I'll wait till after you talk.
Yeah, Roderick Strong's the commentary. And so he's out there, which means that, the friggin' Tall Ace Austin with Mickey Mouse gloves and the guy with the backwards hat and the wife are out there too. God. And you got a go out there. So it's 4-on-1 with shenanigans, but who do you think still won? Getting no heat for his upcoming match with Roderick Strong. Casting no doubt into who's going to win that match with Roderick Strong. Who do you think won this match, Jimmy? I mean, you know who won, but who do you guys who didn't watch think won?
Yeah, who do you guys think won? Let's put it this way. It definitely wasn't Shane Taylor. And unfortunately, I know.
He was the only other choice.
Yeah. But you know what's funny? This match was actually quite good. It started off kind of slow, shall we say? But then it picked up, man, and I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, I was more impressed, believe it or not, with Shane Taylor once again. The fact that, he took a Spanish fly and was able to do that, that should tell you what type of, athleticism this guy's got for his size, man. It's second to none. I mean, he can work.
On the second hand, don't be taking no Spanish fly at the top.
That's true too. But the fact that he can work with anybody, dude. He can work with a flip, dude. He can work with a wrestling, type of guy, a grounded guy. Mm-hmm. That's a testament to him, dude. He's really that fucking good in the ring. And it sucks that he had to lose again. I mean, what's the streak now, Vet, you think? Honestly. Has he won ever on TV?
I think he won one match. I forget who it was against.
I can't even tell you what match that was either. But no shit, he's lost at least, at this point, 8 in a row. Easy.
Well, here's where the booking, when people talk about the booking, right? Like, here's where you really have to look at it, because, I've said this a few times about Shane Taylor specifically, and in big matches. Like, I think the last time I said it was him versus Danielson. I said, imagine if he had won every match leading up to this.
Now it's a bro.
It's a bigger win for Will, and it's a better look for him, because you've seen him win a lot of matches, but he couldn't beat Will Ospreay, who's going on to a bigger match too. So That's the whole idea. If Will Ospreay beats Shane Taylor as he is now, he's just, another guy that beat Shane Taylor, and this is just a humongous waste of time. But you wanted to have a good match, with a guy that could take care of Will, and ultimately it didn't do either one of them the favors that it could have. If Shane Taylor's only losses in the past, 6 months were against Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay, then that would be a much better look. And I would think that they should start looking at him in those terms, because, you also take guy, we mentioned Brian Cage earlier, right? Who you just look at him and you're like, well, that guy should be somebody. But we also know that Brian Cage is like, he's so there, far gone. There's no use for him. He doesn't get it. He'll never get it. He's clueless, or he's willfully doing the things he does. Either one of those is not acceptable. Shane Taylor's doing his best, and he's doing a good job. He's still trying to protect himself as much as he can, despite the Spanish fly off the top. But taking that is more about politics than it is about logistics. It's like we got to
fuck.
keep the star white boy happy. So let's do this move that he
Literally.
wants to do. And even though it's stupid, I'll just go with it. I would like to see bigger things for Shane Taylor because he's too good to be being used like this. Also, again, setting Shane Taylor's win-loss record aside, 4 guys are out there. You mean to tell me you can't fuck Will Ospreay over one time just so that, like, because
It's okay
that
for him to lose, right?
undefeated
Right, yeah.
since he's been to since he's been in
dude.
AEW. Like, who cares if he's undefeated since he's been in AEW? Just nobody thinks Roderick Strong can win, but if he takes an L, then at least Roderick Strong gets some heat before that match, right? So I don't know.
Hatebot says Shane Taylor looks like Big E on top and Lizzo on the bottom. Yeah, look, he's lost a lot of weight.
He also said, how long before Hook suplexed Shane Taylor? Well, that already happened.
That's true.
So where have you been, Hatebot? You've been absent way too long.
He fucking did. It was
but that's okay.
4 weeks ago.
That's okay because Hook is also on my a la carte menu, and he can suplex anybody he wants.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll get to that soon. But the thing about Shane Taylor, you know what he's become now, Vet? I hate to say this, man. I hate to say it. But he's a fluffer now. He's the AEW fluffer. That's what he's become, bro. Like, am I wrong? Seriously.
Well, that's not really a wrestling term. That's more
well, it is
that's
now.
another part of the entertainment industry that we don't really use that term. But
shout outs to Medium
I think
5
I
once
get
again.
what you mean.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, it's a serious question. He's become the AEW fluffer. I mean,
well, because he keeps doing a good job. He keeps having good matches and doing good work and putting people over like he's asked to. He's being a total professional, so they're going to keep asking him to do it.
Sad, man. It's sad. He needs a win, man. Give him a fucking win. Just one, like you said. It will make him more fucking credible, right? So, if, like you said, if he had, only lost to Ospreay and Danielson, he'd look like a beast. You know what I mean? And he's still. But I will say this, right? And this is kudos to him again. In saying him being a fluffer, he's also kind of Teflon because even though he keeps losing, right? It hasn't hurt him as much as we think it's hurt him, if that makes any sense. I think he's fine because he still manages to get himself over. The only thing is, if people click on, he's basically becoming a loser, to the stars. That's what I don't like, you know what I mean? Just give him a couple of wins. Unless he's cool. Look, man, how old is he now? He's in his mid-30s, right?
At least.
He wouldn't be 40 yet, though, I don't think.
I don't think so.
Right.
I don't think so.
So say I'm going to say 36. I want to look it up just to be sure. Maybe 36 or 38. He's been around for quite a while, like a few years. But the point is, maybe he's happy to be doing this. I doubt it, though. But maybe he is. I mean, who knows?
Well, maybe everybody's saying, damn, I want to work with Shane Taylor.
Damn, bro. Well, yeah, maybe. And, oh, man, I was right. I said between 36 and 38. He's 38, dude. Damn.
Yep.
He's not getting any younger, that's for sure.
Yep.
But he's still great. He can still go.
Did you hear the whole deal about Kevin Nash and all that? Where he
about Ospreay?
No, about Shane Taylor.
Oh, no. What did you say about Shane Taylor?
Apparently, he criticized Shane Taylor in a match that he watched, the one against Orange Cassidy, which he also lost.
I didn't hear about that part. I know he also criticized Ospreay, though, too. So, no, please elaborate.
He criticized lots of people. So, but the point is, Kevin Nash criticized him, and then Shane Taylor answered the criticism, and then and then Nash answered the answer, and whatever. But I mean, that's the thing. Like, he's getting on the radar of people, but it's just not always the best look, So,
well, unfortunately, and again, it goes back to if you're like, a big guy, they just don't care about him. Where's Wardlow, Vet?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Again, are we going to be doing the same shit again with him? Where we start pushing him and then he just disappears into the shadows. Like, I mean, he's got an appropriate name in. Well, actually, it should be Waldo. Like, where's Waldo? Where's Wardlow at this point? I mean, I'm done and dusted with him, and it's not his fault. But you know what? He's done. He's just done for me. Anyway, Shane Taylor, he's the man. Unfortunately, he's a bit of a fluffer when it comes to AEW. I'm sorry I had to say that because I'm a fan of his, but he makes everybody look great, man. And you can't praise him enough. You know what I mean? At this point, it's becoming a compliment.
He's the entree. I ate, but you know, unfortunately,
and you ate quick too. Yeah. Like it started off quickly. So yeah, please continue, Vet.
All right, then we get a FTRD promo on the Righteous and the Archer. Just promote their main event match later.
I can't stand. I was a fan of fucking the Revival.
God damn it, a fan of them.
Fuck the Revival. Man, I said it. I mean, Cash the Axe. I mean, Dax the Axe. I can't stand that.
Wow, I can't believe they actually introduced him as that.
Bro,
on Dynamite, they actually announced Dax the Axe Axon or whatever.
Dax the Axe Axon. I like it.
Axe the Axe Axon. That's his new name. It's Cash Cashin and Axe the Axe Axon.
Fuck me, man. Do you think it's a rib at this point on him? Do you think they're ribbing him? It wouldn't surprise me if it was.
It is. Yep.
Well, there you go.
I can't wait for Cornette's review of the match where he talks about how Dax had dragged a great match out of that bum Okada.
Oh God.
So anyway, all right. So next is Mox and Claudio doing a promo. And Claudio does a long promo about how he doesn't like to talk. So,
but did you notice? Not only does he not like to talk, he was talking way too much, way too long, like you said. But it was making Moxie fucking giddy. For some reason, the longer he was talking, Moxie was getting off on it. It looked like I'm proud of you, guy. You know, keep going. He was getting
ready to make a blade right there.
Yeah, he was getting that turned on. He was going to cut himself.
Yeah, he was like cutting it off screen. Like he's like. Yeah.
It was weird, dude. But you know what? It sounded like? Really, he was talking a whole bunch of nothing. Honestly, right? I'm talking about Costagnoli. And it's blue.
Yeah, right. Yeah, his point was that, you know, he doesn't like to talk because he thinks that the great athletes shouldn't just talk about how great they are and then never be great. He thinks they should all go out in the ring and show how great they are. Okay, yeah, I get it. Well, it took a long time to say all that. So,
well, Labrat says Mox was getting a nosebleed while Costagnoli was talking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. That's a good one.
Yep. And yeah, so we got a Learning Tree promo too. Now, funny enough, I actually heard this promo somewhere else, and then I had to watch it again, so I had to hear this twice. But
lucky you.
Geez. Yeah, it's just Chris saying how he's doing his facetious babyface thing, like I'm glad that you know. You hit me with the microphone hook because it means you're learning. Like it makes me happy even though it hurt. Like, you know.
Don't get me wrong. It was very obnoxious. It was done purposefully, obviously. But Jericho, what's up with all the zits on his chest, bro? What's going on there? Did you notice that?
Who? Jericho?
Yeah.
Well, did he just get chopped 57 times by?
That's what I thought too. It's probably from the chops, but. Yeah. I don't know. That was kind of weird.
Only like a week ago, right? Or
yeah, it was. Wasn't it on Dynamite this past Wednesday?
Yeah. Who was that?
It was. It was. Yeah.
No, was it Shibata?
No, not No, not no.
Well,
I don't think it was.
Shibata chopped him a lot.
No,
too.
It was, bro.
And then didn't he have another match where somebody chopped him a bunch of? Look, whatever. It doesn't matter.
The same
Look,
shit.
Chris Jericho's stupid chest has been chopped. All right, that's what it is. They're going to chop that gap in the middle of his chest even wider, okay, if he keeps doing this. They're going to chop his tits off.
Pretty wide.
All right?
Yeah. Speaking of tits, I can't wait till we get to a certain segment, but anyway.
Yeah, all right. Well, everybody shut up. Everybody in the chat shut up. Hook is coming out, all right? I wrote down Hook, entree, definite entree. He's an entree. Versus Johnny TV with Taya.
Oof.
So apparently recently Johnny TV has been promoted off of Ring of Honor, and he is now on the Saturday night shows. So there you go. He's moving on up in this world. Maybe one day he'll make it to the big time.
What about his woman? God damn it. They're going to do nothing with her. I mean, shit.
Hey. They're doing something with her, putting her out there. There she is.
And they're still fucking losers. But anyway, can I say before you get into the match, is it kind of corny that they do the bat fucking symbol for Hook?
No.
Do they need to do that shit?
Yes. But the problem is everything else around it is not cool. So it's making us think it's not cool. It could be cool if they did it right. If they did the show right, it would be cool.
Well, maybe. True.
The worst thing they did, they brought in Hook. He was the hottest thing. They cooled him off for like a year, and then now they're trying to start over. And that's what's really hurt more than anything.
Bro, let's rewind. How long has it been? 2 years ago. I remember it was specifically you and I. How we were like, Hook Mania was running wild for you and I anyway, specifically. And we're getting a lot of shit because of that. And how hot was he? Heck, you bought his shirt, for example. That's a shoot. He really did. And you showed us, mind you.
My Hook action figures over there.
Oh, what? No. Did you get a Hook? Did you get a Hook action figure? I haven't seen it yet.
Of course I got a Hook. Why wouldn't I get a Hook?
Dude, you never
action
showed
figure? I gotta
me
support
that.
Hook. Nobody else does.
It's true. Hey, I'm with you with Hook. But
all right, well,
damn
where's your
it,
action
they
figure,
fucked
Jimmy?
him. Yeah, well, I didn't go that all in.
Not yet. Well,
not
in the
yet.
Mail. Just say you ordered it and it's in the mail.
Dude, you know what's sad? Yeah, I'll say that next time. You know what's sad, though, about Hook right now? Like you said, he was hot, man. And it was organic. It wasn't like AEW made him hot. That was clearly not their intention. But he had something about him that even I was into, you were into, and they wasted him for a year, like you said. And now he's just, he's kind of lost, even though he gets his wins still and stuff. But they just don't know what to do with him. I mean, honestly, they really don't know what the future is with Hook. They don't know what the fuck is going. And it's sad, and I feel bad for him, dude.
Well, look, in as far as he goes, like, this is he's so new, like, even now. And
it's true. He's still baby, man.
This is his indies. He didn't come from anywhere. He started from scratch. He's a project, and it's just that it's weird because normally you get better with time, and I feel like he was better at first, at everything, not just, not.
You know why?
Not just the, huh?
You know why you felt that way, and I can understand how you would think that way. It's because he wasn't talking, dude. Once he started talking,
I'm just it's not great when he's talking, but that's not the issue either. Just the issue is the overall everything. It's like even just like, look, what did he just followed another match Shane Taylor lost and 2 lame promos. Right? So like, that means that the content of the show that he's on is already not cool. And then when he comes out, like, yeah, I get excited because business is about to pick up, as JR would say, but I've still just watched like 15 minutes of boring nothing, right? Or disappointment. So like, if he's sandwiched in between all that disappointment, he just comes off as not special either. And that's the thing. So anyway, look, we could do the whole show about the trials and tribulations of young Hook, but this is an a la carte situation. The fact that he's here, he's in a match with an experienced guy for a change, Johnny TV. This is, it's fine, I guess.
I will say one thing. No, it wasn't bad. You know what? He made Hook work, though, in this match. I mean, did you notice that by the end of the match, I haven't seen Hook sweat it out like that, dude. He looked like, he went through a match. Even though it wasn't long, but it's like he had to sort of, I don't want to say earn it, but like, I mean, for Johnny TV, he's not just anybody. Yeah, he looks like a loser in AEW, but he's a lot more than that. But I think he's at that age at this point. he'd be more than happy to put someone like Hook over, man. You know what I mean? And he worked for him. And when I say he works for him, he sold for him. He made Hook look decent. But like you said, wasn't a great match, but that's probably because of everything around the match is what made this match not, any good, even though it wasn't as bad.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So,
it's sad.
I mean, it was a good finish too. Like, I like the finish where it was just where Johnny TV misses his little springboard
diving off the, like I said, diving. And then, it's like Olympic diving again.
Right. And then Hook just goes and gets he hooks the red rum on him. He doesn't do like an extra. A lot of times in AEW, you would see a spot like this. Like he would maybe, like Johnny TV would miss the move, and then the person would go pick him up and hit him with 3 more moves and then beat him. Like,
yeah. They went straight to business,
go right to the finish, capitalize on the mistake. That's better psychology, I think. It's like,
absolutely,
Johnny TV, the veteran, made a miscalculation. The kid took advantage of it, and before he knew it was happening, he got hooked. So
literally, he got hooked. No, right. I like that, and that's the thing, Vet. Like you said, you probably would have enjoyed it better if everything else around this match would have been better. But really, it wasn't a bad match. I was actually happy with Hook and happy with Johnny for making Hook look half decent. Unfortunately for Hook, like you said again before, because I like that saying because it's so true. Everything around him is what makes Hook look, bad in a way to others that just don't get him. He's got something, man.
For a long time, Jimmy, AEW was nailing debuts.
I know. It's crazy how
and then everybody went down after the debut. They brought in so many people, and Hook wasn't even like brought in from outside, but like he would just stand there eating chips in the background with his backpack on. So you're like, when you find out he's gonna have a match, you're like, what the hell is this guy gonna do? And then that debut match was great.
Right, yeah.
But then after that, it was like a little less great, and then you're off TV for a while, which I don't get it. But anyway, maybe it's politics too. Maybe
I can see that. The politics.
Okay, so here's the deal, right? They did this twice in a row. So Hook is leaving to go to the back, and the next guy's coming out. So the next guy's Shibata, so they're friends, so they do a fist bump. And so Shibata's like, I don't know, is this part of my menu? And then I see Rocky Romero, and then I was just like, all right, no, none of this is part of my. I just lost my appetite again. I lost my appetite.
Really can't stand Rocky Romero, huh?
This is the worst possible timeline here, where you have to watch a Rocky Romero match.
Oh, Labrat fucking brought up a good point, by the way. I forgot about that. I actually did.
Even that could have worked, but they put no effort into that whatsoever.
It was the one and done, dude. You saw him interacting at the time. I mean, we saw him in the back a few times over the weeks at the time, but it was like a one and done and just done. That was it. And that's the thing about AEW, as you brought up. They can debut guys and make them look like huge stars and girls. Good example, Sasha. What's it called? What's it? Not Monet. Sasha Monet. Yeah, I know, but what's her? Mercedes Monet, right? They made her look like a star at first when she debuted. They just don't know. They can debut guys. That's the easy part. They don't know how to follow up with anybody, bro. They just don't understand how to follow up. They can start a story, but don't know how to do the middle of the story or how to get to the end of the story. And it blows my mind that it's so hard for this company, even though people adore Tony Khan and his fucking booking. But again, that's just wearing the, gold shaded glasses that all these AEW fan base unfortunately wear all the time.
Did you get muted, Jimmy? I can't hear you anymore.
No, I'm not muted.
Did you unplug yourself in your excitement?
No? Are you being serious? No,
keep trying. Something happened.
What are you doing to me now? Really?
Can you guys hear Jimmy?
Yeah,
can you tell Jimmy? He's talking. I see his mouth moving. No?
Okay. Chat, tell me, can you hear me?
No.
Wow. Now you can't hear me.
Chat's a Labrat can hear you.
Well, that's strange, Ben.
Huh.
Okay. So you guys can hear me in the chat, yeah?
Hold on.
Can you hear me now? Thanks, guys, by the way, in the chat. I don't know what's going on there.
One moment. I think for some reason, my computer switched my output.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, how about now?
Blah, 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 blah. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Still, you can't hear me.
No.
If you can read my lips. Oh, wait. Idaho. Wait, can you guys in the chat hear the vet? I can hear the vet, right?
All right. Well, let me come out and come back in, Jimmy, real quick, and see if that fixes it.
Hatebot, you're probably right, man. This has been happening on 3 shows in a row, dude. I mean, from last week when we did the wreckage, weird shit happened with me where I was delayed and music was playing doubling over all the time. And then on the Next Level podcast with the 3 of us, including Big Ray Hernandez, the electrics were fucking up for Big Ray. So interesting. Can you hear me now, Vet?
Yes, I can.
There we go.
I think my computer did something weird. I think it just did something weird.
It happens, dude. It's been happening 3 shows in a row. Remember with me last week, then Big Ray on the Next Level, and now you. I'm telling you, it's Media M5 messing with me.
This is you, Media M5. Stop it. I'm just trying to get in.
Is it a coincidence, man? I don't know. It's weird, man. But you obviously didn't hear what I said. And going back and saying all that again, the chat heard it. That's what matters, I guess.
It's okay. We'll just go with it. I'll assume it was great, like always.
Oh, yeah.
Did we move past the Rocky Romero match? Are we past that?
Yeah, I think we did.
Yeah, he lost to a figure 4, so I was like, yeah, fuck you, give up, you little bitch, little bitch. All right. So anyway, he gave up like a bitch, and then so Shibata's on his way back up the ramp, and then he passes the big business bounty hunter Brian Keith.
Oh man.
Oh, you think you're disgusted that Brian Keith is coming out? Wait till you see his opponent.
That's what the fuck was this, bro? What was the saying with the tits? What was it again? Like, I forgot it now already. I know it was funny though.
I don't know, but
you didn't hear the.
I did, but I forgot. Because look,
Me too.
When Jack Jameson has a microphone, that's a good time to tune out.
Hey, but he done a proper wrestling promo, dude. An old school, typical professional wrestling promo. You got to give him that.
Yeah, I'll give him something, all right. But yeah, he's out here with it. So these guys used to be Bear Country. Now they're the Iron Savages, and apparently this guy
Weird
is
savages.
Beefcake Boulder now instead of Bear Boulder. Well, he's a bear for sure.
Yeah.
Thankfully, this doesn't last long. I don't even think this match lasted as long as Jack Jameson's promo, did it? Like, he pretty much hit the diamond dust on him and got out, right?
Jameson's promo was way longer than the match itself, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
100%. This was weird. Did we get a titty suck in this match? Because that disturbed me, bro.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. The bounty hunter. Yeah, I said it. The bounty hunter, Keith. I don't think I even should mention his last name.
Big business bounty hunter, Brian?
Big business bounty hunter, Keith, not Brian. Or Brian Keith. Anyway, the point is, he fucking started biting Titty Man's tits. It was disgusting. This is off, dude. I don't care. This is not wrestling, bro. I've never seen one man stuck on another man's breast in professional wrestling. I don't care. I don't need to see that shit. You know what I mean?
Was he sucking it or was he biting it?
I don't care. I don't want to know, bro. The point is, did they try
to force him to motorboat and then he bit to get out? Is that what happened?
I don't know, bro. I wouldn't. Anyway, that big guy is just rotted. Okay, let's put it that way.
No,
just fuck that, man. This is
not
wrong,
Beefcake
man.
Boulder. No way.
Yeah. See what they did to at the start with these fucking look. See, my camera and shit's fucking up, vet. I'm getting all delayed. But the point is, this was foul. This was off, and I don't need to see it on television. I'm sorry, I just don't. This is bad.
Okay. No, I agree. I mean, everything about this, I agree. But at least I was laughing because Lab Rat said, "Did Brian Keith not see the bounty the Elite put out?"
He's been on song. Lab Rat's on fire tonight, man. Jeez.
Yeah, we got look. If your name's the Bounty Hunter, you got to be on top of these things. I mean,
he sure was
I know that
on top.
I know he probably thought that that Beefcake Boulder was some kind of big animal that he had to lasso, but like he didn't even try to hog tie him or anything. He didn't
need to. He just clung on via his teeth. Dude, this is just shit house, bro. These guys, everyone, every single one of them, you should be all fired, including you, Bounty Hunter. And I liked him. Oh. But god damn it, man. And also stop fucking wearing your pants so high up where it's almost touching your tits, for crying out loud.
Hey,
seriously.
He doesn't want to diet, you know?
I don't know, but it's the weirdest shit. It's
you could tell what guys were like fat as kids because of how high they would wear their trunks. Because like you remember how high the British Bulldog used to have his trunks? And
yeah,
like, bro,
true.
You're not fat, but he would always be like pulling him up. Lex Luger even would be like Lex, if anybody thinks you're fat, there's no hope for anybody else. Like, why are you pulling your trunks up?
Yeah, but dude, his pants, and thank you, hey Bob, for that. But if you see his pants, dude, they go way over his boots. So the fact that he's got them so high up, right? You can see where his boots are, right? The pants are like.
You might as well have a singlet then, you know?
He might as well, but he doesn't actually, does he? He's actually topless. But anyway, I don't know. All these guys should be fired. The fact that Bear Country, or what are they? The Savages, whatever the fuck they
Savages.
Are. The Iron Savages can get fucked. All right, all of you get fucked. Go home, do something. Suck on each other's tits for all I care. I don't want to see these guys ever again. Period.
Yeah, fuck make some room for Takeshita, all right?
Yeah, and Ricky Starks.
And Ricky
by the
Starks.
Looks of it.
Yeah, come on.
All
right,
God.
So Lexi Nair finds Pac in the back with a red
causing a heart
This
attack.
looks like an impact.
He was reminiscent, dude.
Turn off the lights. But anyway, she's like, hey, what do you think about getting beat up by the, or like, what did you think about what Jay White and them said to you? And he's like, I don't care. Make me care. Like his whole promo was about make me care. Okay. So next,
and he was a zonk. On top of it, he's like, make me care. Like is it just me? Has he lost muscle mass, dude, by the way? He looks sort of smaller to me lately.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, anyway.
But sometimes it just depends if he has a pump or not, Like,
what type of pump there, vet?
The nitric oxide type.
Anyway.
Yeah,
that's good.
So anyway, yeah, he's been sort of zombie like ever since he lost that Continental Breakfast Championship match. So he's kind of been in a daze, and the Bullet Club Gold has been taunting him, and he's just kind of dazed his way through it. And then so the next we get the same Bullet Club Gold making an entrance, right?
Oh God.
And then
right.
They do their normal entrance, except that when the camera pans out or whatever, you see that they've got Pac with them. They've just got his lifeless body there at their feet. And he says, like, do you care now? You care now? And that's the sorry. I almost made Jimmy spit up, do a spit take with my New Zealand accent.
Don't do that. Yeah, but it still sounded like you were doing an Australian accent technically, but that's why I laugh.
Care now? I don't know how much higher pitch I can get it.
But why does it have to be high pitch? Why do you Yanks always have to do the high pitch way? Like, why can't it just be,
maybe
go
high
with the
pitch
flow?
isn't the word, but
No, but you
there's
do.
something about
like, all
New
of these-
Zealand that's a little more nasally, I guess. Like,
Yeah, it's
how would
like
you
get
describe it?
fucked. Like, well, I'll give you an example. Obviously, I sound Australian, right? They do pretty much do, but they'll say shit like fish instead of fish. So we would say fish, they'd say fish, or like chips. They talk like that, like sort of thing, nasally. Like they'll be like, "Hey, Jimmy." That's how my New Zealand friends would say my name, right? They'd be like, "Jimmy," but it's Jimmy, not Jimmy. Like, you know, so they sound like us, but with that sort of with certain words, they pronounce it like that.
Well,
and,
whatever
and they're
he
probably
said,
a little more high pitched.
whatever they said, I wrote this down like after they did this because it was like, okay, they do their entrance and then they show Pac and then they go, and then I was like, wait, what was the entrance for? Were you guys gonna have a match or
Right?
just...
That's what I was confused about, dude. I was expecting a match, and you know what else is sad? Cool that what they did to Pac, whatever. Yeah, you happy car park? Hey, bot. I know you want me to say car park, really, but I don't say it like that, bro. Just quietly. But anyway, could they at least have shown us a fucking video or some shit of them attacking him? They didn't give us none of that.
We don't want anybody to get fired.
Well, true. Touche.
Yeah, that'll be later. The Bucks will show that video. They'll show the attack on Dynamite and try to get a rating.
Of course.
Anyway, I wrote next to Bullet Club Gold, I wrote appetizer because that's, you know, it was only just this once. They didn't show him again. There was not a match, so it's just a quick little appetizer.
We had the whole entrance, man, and we got nothing.
It's not even like an appetizer. This is like they put a lemon slice in your water. Like okay, thanks.
It was a snack, if you want to call it that. But not just any snack. It's like you went to the fridge just for one grape.
Yeah, one grape.
You know what I mean? That's it.
I'm not hungry. I just want one little grape.
God damn. That's crazy. Right. AEW, man.
Speaking of one grape, Nick Wayne, he says he could he tells everybody in his family, in his new family, that he can beat. He was just a kid when Swerve came to his house and beat the shit out of him. He's a man now, and he can take Swerve on his own. So that's what he says.
Good for you, kid.
Okay. All right. Next we have Orange, which I wrote next to Orange's name. I wrote compliments of the chef. Like, here you go. You didn't order it, but I made this special just for you. I'm like,
but have it anyway.
Yeah, I'll take it. Thanks.
But the thing is, Bet, this felt like a bit of too much food, if you know what I mean.
Well,
for this, if you get my drift.
Perhaps.
Did this go way too long, bro?
Perhaps it did. Especially for
it did.
Especially for his own brother. He's facing his own brother here, Isaiah Cassidy.
Oh yeah,
it's the Cassidys facing off. This is just like the Usos at WrestleMania.
Absolutely, it's true. I didn't think of that until you said brothers. Cassidy's true.
Except this match. Point. This match was way better than the Usos match at WrestleMania.
Actually, no shit. It actually probably was, because that stunk. Let's be honest. No, but you're right. It actually was. Actually, this impressed me. I didn't expect to like. Not that I liked it, because I don't care for either one of these guys. But to their credit, they worked their butts off, man, for sure.
Well, this is another match of like, why is this happening? The only reason this is actually happening, because these guys have no words against each other, no reason together. They're not even technically a babyface and heel. They're just kind of two babyfaces. So there's no reason for this match to happen other than for Trent to be sitting in the front row trying to tell Brother Zay what to do. He's like, hey, pile drive him on the stairs like I did. You know, like, and he's listening to Trent for some reason. Well, he tries to, and he gets backdropped off the stairs this time. So like, you know, anyway, I was kind of liking the match at first, but in addition to you saying that it was a little long, but also as the match got longer, Orange Cassidy didn't sell as much anymore. Like he kept not that he wasn't, bro. He it's not that he wasn't selling, but he wasn't selling. Like,
Yeah, like
Isaiah would just do stuff to him and he would just get back up. Like, he would sell it at first, but then he'd get back up. So it's like, well, then I guess it didn't hurt that bad. So you probably should have just no sold it like Goldberg from the beginning, since you weren't going to stay down. And it was just a lot of that at the end. And then,
was he hot dogging him?
Huh?
Do you think he was hot dogging him a little bit?
No, I just don't think Orange gets that part of it. Okay. Or maybe they took too long at the beginning, and then the referee was telling them to wrap it up, so they crammed their shit in, and instead of yeah. Because I've seen enough of Orange Cassidy to know that he knows what he's doing, but like maybe he's not so good that he can adjust his TV matches on the fly, like to hit time cues maybe or something, because he should know better than that. But anyway, he doesn't sell enough, but he eventually hits his finish after taking a bunch of stuff. He just takes a bunch of stuff, then gets up and hit his finish on Isaiah Cassidy. 1, 2, 3. It wasn't even the Orange Punch. I think he beat him with a beach break or something, but
I think it was right. Yeah, like it went too long at this point. Like I said, it was good at first. Then it started just draining it, dude. And that's when the phone for me started creeping in at this point. Where I'm like, I'm like, God damn it, hurry up already, man. Actually, from this point on, a lot of things drained it. I'll be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, pretty much. But we're almost done anyway. But Labrat says, shave Orange's hair, dude. Can't stop touching. Right. He was doing the hairbrush. Another one of my pet peeves. Stop hairbrushing.
Why?
You know, don't do it.
Is it that self-conscious you think, Vet?
I don't know. Everybody does it though. You can't put this on him. Roman Reigns does it. Everybody does it. It's bad.
Yeah, but he's got long hair though, at least. You know, I can understand
I know, but you
that.
shouldn't be doing it. Like,
that's true also though.
Everybody knows what you look like, Roman Reigns. Don't worry if a couple of strands are in your eye, okay? You'll be fine.
From every angle, literally.
Yeah, just stop it. Cole Bliss says OC's one of the best strikers in the business. He's one of the best pure strikers in the AEW history.
God damn.
But anyway, yeah. So Don Callis is watching in the back ominously, like this is like he's gonna turn, like he's Palpatine getting ready to turn Anakin Skywalker or something, and
a lot of foundation on that head, bro. By the way, you could really see it, man.
Mm-hmm. And then Lexi goes out to interview Trent, because this is really important. We got to get some thoughts from Trent. And, like Hatebot says, he wants a straight up wrestling match at the pay-per-view after they've already done the street fights and everything. And so we've used fights to sell wrestling matches, of course. Unless, now this, okay, look. In fairness, I don't like Trent at all, and I don't care about him. I'm very, very mild on Orange Cassidy regardless. Like I said, he's a chef's compliments, like, okay, house, soup of the day, whatever. But if we're just looking in a vacuum, if a heel says that, right? Like if he says, I just want a wrestling match at the pay-per-view. Now you could take that as like, he's trying to sucker somebody into it and like, oh yeah, he's going to say he wants a straight up wrestling match, and then he's going to pull out every gimmick in the book to try to win.
Oh, for sure. Anyway.
So you could do something with that. I just don't think they're going to do anything satisfying in the end. But I'm not mad at the premise, but they can't pull it off. So
no, they can't pull it off.
See. I guess this is why he didn't beat Isaiah with the orange punch, because he saved it for Trent right here. I think he came up and gave him an orange punch.
Jeez. Wow, I'm intrigued. I can't wait. But if it's going to be a straight-up wrestling match, I'm pissed because not only are they not going to be able to pull it off properly, but also it's going to continue because you're going to need like the blow-off match to be some sort of gimmicked match, right? Like either a cage match, whatever. Like,
hey, this would be a good one for AEW to just drop in the middle. Forget the blow-off. Hey, you know what show I missed? The blow-off.
I knew you were going to say that. I know, man. Fucking, it's been a long time since we've done a blow-off, that's for sure.
That's right. It's time to do a blow-on.
Too many blows.
Oh, well, speaking of blow, Anna Jay.
Yeah. That's a blow.
I wrote down for Anna Jay, like, same thing, house special. Like,
Very special though. Like, I mean,
how special.
it's always
like,
good.
Again, did not ask for it. Won't turn it down. I'll take
Definitely
it.
won't turn
It's
it down.
like complimentary slice of cheesecake. Sure.
Oh,
You know?
but it's like a quality cheesecake, and
It's
it is
cheesecake,
every time.
all right. It's definitely cheesecake.
Yeah.
That is. There's no accident that I use that term. But Serena's the entree here. I wrote down entree for Serena. And then here we go with this match, which is like, God, NJ's so bad, but she's better than she was, which was awful.
She is improved. She has.
She
improved,
used to be
100.
awful. Now she's just bad. So like,
Right.
same thing I said
Yeah.
about who did I say this about last time? Like baby steps.
Wasn't
You
Anna?
take-
Was
was it? It
was it
might have
not
even
Anna
been.
Jay?
No, it was
Was-
another woman. Sky Blue, Dark Sky. Was it Dark Sky? I don't know.
or was it
Anyway.
Julia?
Julia Hart.
Yeah,
Well,
possibly.
she's been out for a while, so it probably wasn't her.
What is she? She's injured, isn't she?
Shoulder, yeah, someone's shoulder.
Okay. All right. Anyway.
But anyway, but here's the thing where it's like Serena, I think, is trying to pull off like a level, like a grade B match, and she's getting like a C- execution out of it because of Anna Jay. Whereas she should probably shoot for a C+ and get an A execution, right? Like that's like if I was in the ring with Anna Jay, I like, look, I'm not going to do any of the stuff you want to do, and I'm going to do half of the stuff I want to do. We're going to do
Right.
nothing out there, and we're going to get the people into it because you're going to sell your ass off, or I will. Like, I'll like you just keep beating me up and I'll just keep selling or whatever. Like something to keep it very, very simple. I want Anna Jay not running the ropes, right?
Definitely
not
You
doing
can't run the
strikes.
ropes, dude. You,
Like or doing like complicated technical moves. I don't want her to do. I almost don't want Anna Jay to do anything, but she's got to do something. So whatever it is going to be the simplest thing possible, and we're going to milk it. Like that's the best case in this, and she'll learn more that way than if she does just like, I want to get my running back spin kick in the corner, and I want to
picture
do
that.
my like like I just. And Serena's probably just like, okay,
sure, kid.
all right, yeah, okay. So
Yeah, but you know what, man? I mean, it started off great. I love that she wrapped her up into a ball, basically done the sonata,
Paradise-
done the
Paradise
right.
Lost.
Yeah, I mean that was great, but I hate that move at the same time, dude, because it's so bullshit. Like it, I just don't like it for that reason. But can I ask, what's with the Serena Dojo? What I had a lot of Japanese sort of inspiration here with Serena Deeb.
Deep Dojo.
Was it Deep Dojo or was Serena
Probably,
Dojo? I don't know.
it's probably just for the alliteration, Deep Dojo.
Is it a rib even? Like, is she ribbing someone? Like, I found this kind of interesting because it was different.
I don't know. Maybe she just thought it sounded. Maybe she thought of School of Serena, or maybe she tried different name based puns or whatever. Like I don't know. It's so
Interesting.
not important
Interesting.
though. I guess
Right.
she has
Well-
a dojo and she's got a flag and everything. So she wins the match with the half crab. Anna Jay taps out, and then Luther
she
comes
should.
out and he steals the flag. And then he takes it up, and Mariah May comes out, and then Toni Storm comes out, and then Toni Storm gets undressed behind the flag, and then they wrap her in the flag. And then they,
Her music
Deep
plays.
finally is like had enough of looking at it, and she goes up there, and they all run away. So
And you boys in the chat are dirty motherfuckers. That's all I'm going to say. But they're talking about milking this and milking that. Too much milk, man.
yeah, that was
Remember
in the
milk-
that was from
Earlier.
the Bounty Hunter and Beefcake Boulder match that we're talking about
Yuck.
milking. That's a different
Damn.
match. We're
I don't
past that
even-
match now.
I'm not fucking touching milk ever again. Anyway, but with Deeb, I felt like she was having a little fun in this match though, and I say that in a like positive sense. Even at the end with what's her name, Toni Storm. Even though I felt like that was just ridiculous. Like, what was the point, right? I know they've got a match coming up at Double or Nothing, but who gives a fuck?
It's a flag
Like-
match.
No, but when I say who gives a fuck, I should be really into. Yeah, exactly. I should really be into this match, but this is not how you build to that match. Like, what's this? Like, why What? I'm gonna take your flag, get naked, wrap myself up, and you're gonna come and chase me now. Like, do you know what I mean?
A la carte.
Hey, and both of them are definitely a la carte items. But both women are so much better than this shit. That's what I'm saying.
They are, and they should be, but that's what I'm saying. Takeshita, you see this?
Good example. And they're not Asian, by the way, Takeshita.
Right.
Just saying.
Are you seeing this, man? All right. So we get a package for Christian and Swerve to hype that up, and then we get Nick Wayne versus Jack Cartwheel. This is actually one of the shorter matches on the show, believe it or not.
Very short.
Yeah, Nick Wayne makes short work of Jack Cartwheel with the house call. The ultimate insult. First he hits Wayne's World, and he's like, no, 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 no. Watch this. House call. You see that, Swerve? I have a new daddy. And basically that's what,
And he done the Swerve, the posturing and shit. When he looks up, points up. He did all that crap. Even though he was dressed like the Heartbreak Kid. Again, everyone's Shawn Michaels obsessed in AEW, it seems. But Nick Wayne.
Can I say that as I don't care about any of this, however, it's still the most interesting Nick Wayne has ever been to me, this one segment?
Sure, I can see why you'd say that. And I was,
low bar.
It is a low bar. But you're right. You know what? He was the most interesting because he was working, if you know what I mean. When I say working, I'm not talking about the match. It's more after the match, what he was doing and just all that shit. But how old is he now? 19 at the moment? Is he at this
Something
point?
like that. 19, 20.
Well, go and bulk up, kid. He's half decent. Look, I think
He looks
by the time
he looks a slightly bigger.
He does, very slow.
Without the aid of steroids, your progress is going to be extremely slow. So
yeah, so start eating a lot of fucking meats and proteins and shit like that, kid. Eat like a pig. But yeah, you're right. Unfortunately, he needs to hit the gas. It is what it is. If you want to become a big star.
Yeah, I'm not advocating the use, but if you don't have a problem with it, you better do it.
You better do it.
Basically what I'm saying. Like, if there's a moral or a physical or any other reason that you don't want to do it, then by all means don't do it. But if that's not an issue for you, maybe consider.
By all means. Yeah. Look, man,
who needs a heart, right?
That's why I just wouldn't touch fucking roids, man. It's too much damage on the heart, dude. And hello, Liz. She's in the house, by the way.
But here's the thing that a lot of people may not know about steroids is like most of the time just like with everybody, right? You overdo it. Like everybody. Like think about it. It's like if you drink soda, you probably drinking too much, right?
You're
like I might have one soda a month. Some of you guys drink soda every day.
Shit.
Right?
No shit. One a month? Yeah,
like
I drink it every day and I shouldn't, right?
Some months I might have 2 or 3 sodas, but some months I might have no sodas. So it's just, I'm just saying it's like usually every few weeks I might enjoy like a nice cold soda. But for people who drink it every day, that's too much, right? Same thing with steroids.
I'm a water guy too, man.
Maybe you take a little bit of steroids, just a little bit, and it does a lot. The little bit does a lot. So you don't need to overdo it. It's not like, oh, the more steroids I take, the more steroids you take, the bigger you will get, but it's going to look more freakish. It's more unnatural, and you're going to be much more unhealthy. Your body's going to quit on you in terms of like,
your pores would be seeping, bro.
Yeah,
your pores would be absolutely seeping with shit. Fuck that, man.
Yeah, so go see a doctor and do it as safely and as minimally as you can if you're thinking about doing it. I'm talking to guys like Nick Wayne here. And again, like I'll reiterate, if Nick Wayne is against it for some reason, then by all means, do it the hard way and do your best. I'm fine with that. But anyways, I'm just saying he's the most interesting he's ever been at this current point. I don't know how long he can keep that up or if he just got lucky tonight. Oh yeah, Bobby's right. He should just start planking. That's all it takes. Just ask him. Yeah, just plank.
Or Finn Balor.
Yeah, all these guys planking. Yeah,
stupid, ridiculous.
Yeah, why are we even talking about steroids and lifting weights and eating
when they're fucking planking, bro?
Yeah, just plank, dude. Just get on your elbows, stick your feet out, and quit being a pussy, Nick Wayne.
That's it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, don't disappoint your new father. So the main event, speaking of disappointing, the main event, it's FTR and Danielson versus, I guess I'll call them Archis.
I feel bad for Lance being paired up with these two idiots
Don't
all
feel
the
bad.
time.
He deserves it. All right. Do you want to say anything about this match? Because I don't. This
I
is
hated
a
this
progress
match,
bar
bro.
dragger if I've ever seen one.
Progress wrestling? Wow. Yeah, this was fucked. I was drifting at this point, and I'm like, you know what? This sucks. And I'm sick. I feel like I've seen this match before. Didn't the same guys have a match not too long ago on the same fucking show?
They might as well.
And why is
Right.
Danielson with FTR anyway? What am I
Because
missing?
everybody else is hurt. So
Okay, cool.
they're either hurt or they weren't available or they already had a match or whatever. I don't know, but the point is they hit the shatter machine, and then as soon as they hit the shatter machine and win the match, the heels come back to life and kick their asses. Which, okay, so if it's that easy, shouldn't you have just done that from the start when you were all fresh? I don't know. Makes sense to me.
No,
Guess it doesn't make sense to them. Yeah, just yeah. They wore themselves out with snapping and the Dutch pulled his lapels too tight on the way to the ring and strained himself, so it took a while to recover. He waited till everybody else lost before they just bowed up and kicked the shit out of these guys.
Dutch looked like he was ready to die in that ring, for crying out loud, by the end of the match.
Well, I was ready to die because guess who ran out with a chair, Jimmy?
Oh, who, Vet? Who?
Good old
Who ran out with
Daniel
the chair?
Garcia.
Exactly. Fuck.
So
this,
I was
man.
like,
as soon as I heard that music,
Can I disavow this if he wasn't technically booked in the main event? I don't think I can, right? So,
but see, shouldn't he been in Danielson's place anyway? It would have made more sense. Even though I wouldn't want that, but I'm just saying.
yeah, no. We'll just say no. Let's just say no.
And what is he these days? A freedom fighter? Is that what's going on? Did he just save everybody? Is that his gimmick? What, the dancing freedom fighter? Like, what the fuck is going on, man? He does the same shit. This
Shay
is what
Garcia.
no, please don't even say that. He's not that, but he's acting like he's a revolutionist. I mean, seriously, like he does the same. He's nothing now. He just saves. What'd you call fucking? Oh yeah, Axe the Cash, the Daxon, Haxon, whatever the fuck's. And he just saved. How weak is FTR when Garcia is always, saving their backsides, bro, every week? Isn't that the trend now? It's like you guys are so pathetic that you need me to save your asses every week, week in, week out. That's what's happening. That's what I see anyway.
I think you're right. I think that's basically what it is.
Well, this match stunk, and it stunk like shit, straight up. And they should be disappointed. They should be ashamed of themselves, Vet. All of them, all 6 of these hacks. And I said hacks, including fucking Danielson right now, who just doesn't know what's going on anymore, bro. Like, he's lost the plot. He doesn't know, is he Blackpool Combat Club? Whatever happened to Costagnoli being upset about Danielson fighting out there in the ring, Vet? Now he doesn't care anymore. It's all good.
I mean, I don't know if he doesn't care. He wasn't there though. He wasn't a part of it.
Oh, that's right. He was
with
talking about
Moxley,
facades. Yeah, exactly. Having a cigarette.
Oh yeah,
in the back.
there's a quick piece of news. Charges dropped.
Dropped. I was just gonna say that. That's why I brought it up. Charges were dropped. It's thrown out. There you go. I guess he's cool, and that's that. Do you reckon there was any money exchanged, Vet?
Who has money these days?
True.
So looking back on this episode, let's count up what I had. I had 1, 2, 3 entrees, 1 house special, 1 compliments of the chef, and 1 appetizer.
And a snack. A grape, remember?
Well, the appetizer. I'm calling Jay White the appetizer.
Fair enough.
But it was a small I had to split it. I had to split it with you, Jimmy. We had to split like some mozzarella sticks or something. We didn't even get the whole order. We had to split it.
And put it this way, I wasn't even impressed with my little bit. God damn it.
Right, yeah. They didn't give us the
nothing,
marinara
bro.
sauce. They didn't.
Nah, plain mozzarella stick,
plain
bro.
mozzarella stick, overcooked, dry. Just whatever. But it was
Maybe
still
slightly out of date, slightly smelly. You know what I mean?
right. But in the end, a mozzarella stick still decent, so we'll take it. But okay. But what spoiled it?
Was the milk, bro?
God, the milk. Well, here's the thing about that. Okay, so that the Iron Savages tried to ruin this, but it was so short it almost didn't matter. So I'll give it that. Then we had Rocky Romero, who also tried to ruin it, but that took a little longer. And then finally, the main event, like just absolutely, as Liz said, awful sauce to go with the food. References. So we had a good menu for me, but at the end of the day, there was too many overcooked, undercooked, flies in the soup, that kind of stuff. Like, I'm gonna have to say a C+, but it's a weak C. Well, it's actually a strong C. I wanted to give it a B-. But those things I mentioned, I think the main event is what kept it from a B-. If it was the other two things, I could have lived with it. I could have lived with some mild titty sucking and whatever, but like
I'm scarred, dude.
That main event though, that was worse than a titty suck. That was
well,
so I'm going to give it a C+, but it should have been a B-. But not only like did I not care about that match, but that I hate in wrestling when the heels lose and then just get up and kick the shit out of the person that beat them.
That's standard in AEW, dude.
It's standard everywhere, dude. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of you getting your heat back. Learn how to lose.
No one wants to lose except for Shane Taylor.
Learn how to get over in a loss.
Just ask Shane Taylor, right? I mean, ask him for advice. But
right.
yeah,
everybody have a seminar with Shane Taylor on how to get over in a loss.
Anyways, yeah, well, you're being generous, man, because for me it's a straight up D+. Because but look, I know what you're saying, right? I mean, the Ospreay Shane Taylor match was probably the match of the night, right? Let's be honest, it probably was.
Well, it was between that or Orange and
yeah, wait, that was good too. They were definitely the two best matches.
That's the only two matches we even had. Everything else was a gimmick, kind of.
Yeah, and just bullshit. Like, just a whole bunch of bullshit. Like, straight up, even with Pac and the Bang Bang Gang, like, they were that lazy, dude, they couldn't even show us what happened. You know what I mean? It was just stupid. But yeah, for me, a D+ because there was bad cheese and spoiled milk. And that, to me, is a no-no. So, for them two segments alone, I'm done. Mozzarella... I didn't get much of my mozzarella stick. I wanted more, but I didn't get more. And the milk was off. Very off. So, D+ for me, Vet.
I guess it was just the strength of the Serena Hook and Shane Taylor entrees that really helped me push it over.
Serena, man, as well. That was the other... But again, it was ridiculous, though. The ending was ridiculous. We had a whole bunch of kitty... I mean, I'm sorry, but how else do you explain? It was stupid. Toni Storm stripped and covered herself with Serena's fucking flag, bro.
Maybe Toni Storm stripping could have put it over the top, but we didn't see it. So
we didn't see it. So, yeah.
Of course, we weren't going to see it. I don't know. C+.
Jesus Christ.
Well, C+.
D+ for me.
And a D+ for you. Okay. So we're a whole grade apart. And then we roll into Rampage, I guess.
Yikes.
So
we do.
Let's roll through Rampage as quickly as we can.
Let's roll it, bro. This is the Uncaged section of the Wreckage.
Yeah.
I literally called it Wreckage Uncaged because we're uncaged, unhinged, and uncensored right now.
The Wreckage Uncaged.
The Uncaged.
Yeah.
Sounds weird.
The Rampage. All right.
That's it. Much better. The Rampage.
We got okay, they do a facetious opening package that's like, it's kind of like a Young Bucks centered thing, like where they're saying a bunch of nice things, but because it's about the Young Bucks, you're supposed to like hate it. So okay.
They
and
do
then we
this all the
get
time.
huh?
They do this every time they are on TV. Like, you know, they're playing good cop, bad cop bullshit
This
as
wasn't
well.
even
Like,
them too. It was like a voiceover, like reading something over footage of them, which it's kind of
didn't
funny.
they do
I
that
guess.
on last week and even on Dynamite too? Like,
Yeah, well, they've been doing it ever since they gave Tony Khan a pile driver. So,
cool.
all right.
Lady
Well, here
pile
we
driver,
got. Don't
a
worry, we got
mountain
Kyle
driver.
O'Reilly versus Leo Moriarty, and he's got a go-go with him. So this is the second time a go-go is going to come out. Let's see if he. Now he did punch Will Ospreay in the liver, but that couldn't stop Will Ospreay. I didn't know if he was going to do anything to Kyle O'Reilly, who he's definitely got something wrong with his organs with all his diabetes and everything. So he'd be ripe for a punch, but unfortunately,
Yeah.
I don't think a go-go punched him in this one, did he?
I don't recall that he did.
Okay.
I don't think so, man. But you're right. He is full of diabetes. I think he was
Yeah.
born with it, though, Vet. I don't think it was
Punched
because he was
Go-go
fat.
should have punched the insulin out of him or into him or whatever, however it works.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know. I
doesn't-
don't
yeah,
have diabetes.
into him. Neither do
okay.
I, but you know.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Kyle wins with a Falcon Arrow into not Falcon Arrow, not Superplex Falcon's Arrow, but Falcon Arrow armbar.
That was kind of impressive. I'll say that, but
All right.
again,
But it meant
why are we supposed to care? But it meant nothing. That's exactly right. So
Mhm.
cool, but big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go. Hey, welcome to Rampage.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, like, I guess Shane Taylor's not going to come out there because he's too beat up from his Will Ospreay match, even though didn't he like leave on top in that? Like, he kind of kicked, didn't he like beat him up for a little bit? And
He
then,
did, and he ran off Osprey
yeah, and
pretty
then just
much.
leave
and
like
selling,
as soon as
right?
yeah, all right. Just make
It's
it sure.
true.
But yeah, so he could have came out, but he did. Anyway, Lexi's with the Acclaimed. They do a promo. Max Caster has a mustache. Like, what do we say about this? Not much, right? I don't know.
It's a joke, bro. He's getting even more ridiculous as we go on. Mustache Larry. I'm gonna call him from now on. He's just dumb, bro. He's lost the plot, lady. Especially considering he's a locker room leader now, Vet. Remember
Oh
that.
yes, I forgot. Locker room leaders. Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of locker room leaders, the Young Bucks have their commercial for their new Reebok pumps. Are you going to get a pair, Jimmy?
I'm pretty sure I've told you this. And I'm a huge fan of Reeboks. I collect Reebok pumps, as a matter of fact. I would be interested only because they would be very limited, bro. I mean, so I don't know. Maybe I'll consider it. No, but I'm not. If I do get him, it's not because of the Bucks. It's just because of what it is. Like, and I'm sure they'll be worth something in the future. But then again, maybe they'll be worth nothing because people will be like, "What the fuck are these? Who the
Maybe,
fuck
yeah.
are the Bucks? Is it Milwaukee Bucks?" Like, they're gonna be thinking that or some shit. But yeah, I'll consider it.
You should.
For sure.
You know what you should do if you do get them, right? For whatever reason, here's what we can do. When we do this show, you can have D hand you the sneakers on screen, and then you just take them and immediately put them on the floor like Tony did with Swerve's sneakers. What do you think about that? That'd be good, right?
I'll piss on him. No. Look, man. Yeah, look, I'll consider it for sure. Only because of what they are.
Well, John
Not
Cena
from who
didn't
they
even
are.
get his own pumps, did he?
But he was apparently sponsored by Reebok. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if you know this, Vet, but Roman Reigns is sponsored by Nike right now.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah, that's a fact. Look into that. So he wears Jordans.
I'll take your word
His
for it.
wrestling boots. Dead set. He wears
You
Jordans.
wouldn't lie to me,
the ring.
right? So I don't have to look
I
it up.
wouldn't lie to you. That's a fact, and that came out of WWE's mouth.
Okay. They might lie.
Yeah.
So next is Roosh. Which we're all
Roosh.
excited about. Versus Cody Chun.
Who the fuck is Cody Chun?
I don't know,
Sounds like
but it only
Chun-Li.
takes about 30 seconds for this to end. And
He rushed in and rushed out.
yeah, it was about a minute and a half altogether with the bonus beating afterwards that he gave him. I think he
Standard.
whipped him with one of the camera cords or something.
How wouldn't you? I'd be like, who's this Cody-chan?
Yeah. There you go.
I'd whip him too. I'd whip Tony Khan for putting me in this match.
Yep.
And doing nothing.
Well, there we go.
Can I ask,
Lexi,
before we move on, though, serious question. Where's Rush's other Rushas? Whatever happened to them? Did they just die? They get kidnapped by the cartel? Did Pero Peligroso get run over by a friggin' car? I mean, what happened?
I can only hope that all of those things are true.
More than likely. But sorry, I had to know. I just got to know.
Yeah. Suckers got to know.
Exactly.
Lexi gets update from Danielson on FTR at the trainer's room, and Danielson says, unfortunately, FTR is too hurt to have a match the next time they need to have a match. So,
Really? Really? Wouldn't it have been better if Lexi got a text from Danielson and we didn't have to see him and it said that?
Yeah.
I mean, shit. Why not?
Well, I wish we didn't have to see this. Deonna Purrazzo versus Robin Renegade solo again.
Bro, what's going on? Didn't we see this match last week? Isn't it the same match?
I don't know if Robin wrestled Deonna, but somebody wrestled Robin.
I thought Deonna wrestled one of the sisters.
Maybe
man, I don't know. It just felt like I saw this. Okay, someone, Liz, you would know. Did these two wrestle the week before?
Well, I'll put it this
Revamp.
way. You got rooshed by El Torito. I'll put it this way: like for this match, for this Deonna and Robin match, I let the announcers do their job. I let them work.
This match sucked. All right, let's be honest. It sucked, and it shouldn't suck. But I'm starting to think Deonna Purrazzo. I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. It's going to get me heat. She's overrated, bro. Maybe WWE was right to release her. I'm sorry, she stinks in AEW, dude. She was so much better in TNA, unfortunately. And even I think I'm starting to get why WWE released her now. I'm starting to see it. I get it.
They watched her wrestle Robin Renegade?
They watched her wrestle, bro. I mean, I don't know, man. I think she's not who she. Oh yeah, you're right, Lady Frost. So who did Renegade? Well, I don't know. I'm confused. It's all the same shit. I know one of the Renegade sisters were in a match, but who'd they wrestle last week?
Hey, look. The point is, Thunder Rosa.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
that's right. You're right.
So obviously that ties in because after she gets the Venus de Milo on Robin and Robin gives up, she's not letting go, right? And then Rosa runs out and she's like, hey, you let that renegade sister go. And then she's so she runs out there and then Deonna runs out of the ring and they're like, the announcers are like, oh, Deonna's a chicken. And then then like when Thunder Rosa goes to check on Robin, her best friend as of tonight, I guess, she goes to check on her and then Deonna hits her, runs to the ring and hits her from behind. And then she runs up the ramp to escape again. And then she stays a little too long and Rosa runs up the ramp and catches her and starts beating on her. And
he's kiddie shit, dude. He's just, these whack. These women, a couple of them anyway, deserve so much better than this shit. But it's play school in AEW, man. It's just the way it is.
Yep. So the reason that Hatebot has never heard of Robin Renegade before is that she's been on Ring of Honor with a twin sister this whole time.
Yeah, well,
and she was in NWA too before that.
She was, but both of them weren't they? I'm pretty sure.
But well, yeah, of course. Like I'm just saying, like, yeah, they all like that's probably where maybe that's when Thunder Rosa became friends with the Renegade Twins back in NWA. Maybe
probably,
they go all the way back to NWA. Yeah,
it's true. Sonic.
So it actually did make sense that she would come out to save her friend from
Well, Sonic says Deonna had too much ass to run any faster. She put on a lot of ass, bro. When you think about it, back in NXT, she's losing it.
If you notice, actually, that's the one part of her body that doesn't gain any weight. Unfortunately,
But it
she's
doesn't
got
lose
a
any
flat
either.
ass.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she has a flat ass. She's got a flat ass.
Like a flat, fat ass. It's hard to
Who's
explain.
paying
It's weird.
attention? Who's paying attention to that? We're not sexist, misogynist pigs. You know who isn't also a sexist, misogynist pig?
Liz?
Well, Liz said it, so we don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll tell you who's not sexist, misogynist, or any other ist. Scorpio Sky. He is inspirational. He is smug, but inspirational. So I think we're doing one of these gimmicks where he's like rubbing it in your face how inspirational he is. Maybe like an Oprah or something. Scorpio Sky's doing an Oprah gimmick.
Or is he a Mark Mero, like the real Mark Mero? Or Tony Robbins?
He's like if Mark Mero were still a heel. If Mark Mero today were still a heel. Yes.
And why is it always on Rampage? But they're showing him on Rampage all the time, right? And I bet you most of the people don't even have a clue what the hell he's doing and whatnot. But, I mean, cool. Whatever this gimmick is, I don't know, man. But do you remember he was the doctor in, do you remember when Team Hell No? When Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson and Kane were going to therapy or whatever? And Scorpio Sky was the actual doctor in those segments, funny enough. Yeah.
What doctor?
They will go into therapy or seeing a psychiatrist or whatever. Don't you remember those skits?
That wasn't Scorpio Sky.
Yeah, it was, dude. I swear to God, dude. Scorpio Sky.
White dude with glasses.
No, there was a black dude too, like one of the I kid you not. I don't know if he was a doctor or he was part of the segment anyway.
Was he in the therapy group, you mean? Was that like...
he was either part of the group or he was the doctor.
He wasn't the doctor.
On. Help me out over here.
The doctor became a recurring character after that.
Yeah, but they could have moved on to another
Scorpio
doctor.
Sky.
I
promise he wasn't.
God.
He was not the doctor. I promise. No way.
You guarantee? Okay, let's see.
I guarantee it that he wasn't the doctor. I'm not guaranteeing that you didn't see him in those skits.
He was in those skits 100%, but yeah,
Dr. Shelby, yeah. Dr. Shelby was not Scorpio Sky.
But do you remember Scorpio Sky in those segments in some of them? And who was he? Can you please look that up for us?
He must have been another patient. Wait,
I
just realized something. We are talking about Scorpio Sky. We need to move this show along. Nobody cares about Scorpio Sky now, then, or forever. Renee and RJ City are going to have a new YouTube show called Meal and a Match. Are you going to add this to your watch later list, Jimmy? No?
Exactly.
But you can have a meal and a match. No,
fuck this. There's one too many AEW crap shows already, man. On fucking
on
YouTube. Yeah, there's already another one. How dumb is Hey AEW, whatever the fuck it's called? It's the most childish fucking. It's ridiculous.
You don't love it?
He was Harold. That's right, Harold. But who was Harold though? What was he?
Who cares? That was the shits too. This is why I can't ever get that mad at AEW, because the WWE did shit like that. We fucking wants to see that shit. Anyway, let's see. Sanjay, what do I write here? Oh, Sanjay does a thing. He tells Lexi she can skedaddle. And then he lets everybody know that this Wednesday on Dynamite, it's going to be Daniel Bryanson versus Satnam Singh. 1 in a billion, pal. Ha ha.
Why? Yeah. Andy Great, for real. This is a joke again. Is this a rib?
I love this. I'm excited. This is the most excited I've ever been to watch a match.
I know you're going to say fuck Scorpio Sky, but thank you, Liz. But wasn't he a doctor? Wasn't he a therapist? Or whatever. But anyway, sorry, I have to know, dude.
It's okay, Jimmy. You can be wrong. We're all wrong at times. You misremembered it. It's not that big of a deal. He was not a doctor. How many people need to confirm this?
You know what? I'm not going to continue on this argument for your sake. But yeah, okay, whatever.
Just for my sake.
For your sake, not my sake. Because I want to keep going on about it. But anyway, continue, please.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's better than this, but we're just trying to end the show at a reasonable time.
Yeah, go for it.
And that's good, because otherwise we would have to talk about Brian Cage versus who was it? I already forgot.
Didn't he? Anyway.
Part of a tag team.
Yeah.
God, I'm really struggling because I forgot to write it down. All I had was the finish. Brian Cage hits whoever this guy was in the balls and then a drill claw. Drill claw. Drill claw. Tornado claw.
I should, here we go.
Drill.
Isn't that from X-Men where you did?
Yeah, it's X-Men versus Street Fighter.
Yeah, that's why I laugh.
Capcom. So you know Brian Cage is a real fan. He's a real video game player. That's why he has those Sega titles.
Another problem.
Streets of Cage.
Yeah, shit. I love Streets of
Anthony
Rage,
Bowens,
the video game.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
It's Anthony Bowens.
Didn't he lose? He lost.
Yeah. I was like, my God, are they even going to let Anthony Bowens beat Brian Cage? And they didn't. They actually had Brian Cage win. So that was nice. It's one of like, I can count the amount of times Brian Cage has won a match on AEW television, whether it's a singles, a tag, a 6-man tag, an 8-man tag, on one hand. And I'd still have plenty of fingers left. I'd have enough fingers left to, milk Anna Jay. But,
well, that's a different type of milk now, Vet.
Yeah.
That's good milk. Not that sports shit.
Yeah, so
and
it's like Hey-Bot said, Cage only won because he wasn't fighting a real athlete like Jungle Boy or Hook. Hook is a real athlete. Hook played lacrosse. Hook knows judo.
Did. He actually did.
What the hell does Anthony Bowens play?
Well, yeah, and wasn't Hook a top 15 draft pick in lacrosse? Actually, as a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure he was one of the best lacrosse players in the country at one point, man. I guess it doesn't make enough money for him, right? I mean, let's be real. How much do professional lacrosse players actually get paid? Seriously.
Is there a professional lacrosse league? I've never heard of it.
There is. It was called Major League Lacrosse, as a matter of fact. I'm not kidding.
That's amazing.
It's true. It's true, man.
What channel is that on?
That I can't tell you. But
what are they getting in the demo?
Good question. That's actually a great question. What would be their demo? That's another question I'd love to ask. I mean, who would watch? I mean, come on. Lacrosse is just ridiculous, man. Why would you want to play that game, though? I mean,
it's like a guy who wanted to invent 3 sports, but they were already taken, so he combined them.
And use this. Yeah, I know. It's like a cross between. See, it's like a cross.
I get it. Lacrosse. Which is French for the cross.
The cross, exactly.
It's a French thing, and they probably sing songs over in Lyon with the lacrosse games. La 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 cross.
Yeah, exactly. Cross. La la la. Don't do that because they were doing that. But hey, there you go. We figured it out, bro. We just figured it out. That's how it happened. It was a cross between all these games, hence the name. The cross. Anyway, is that it? Are we done?
The end.
Are we done?
Drill claw.
Tornado claw.
Drill claw. Tornado claw. Weapon X.
Oh, surface barrage.
Barrage.
What does he say? Because I don't understand either, man.
What?
What is it?
Berserker Barrage.
Is that what it is? No shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like that, but now it actually... Wait, Berserker Barrage... Oh, yeah, I can see that. All right, cool, thank you. I never understood it for forever. Now I know. Yep. Cool. That's pretty cool that I know that now. Well, anyway, I would rather be talking about Street Fighter versus X-Men or Marvel versus Street Fighter or Capcom, whatever it was. But we're talking about AEW, right? So in saying that, Vet, tell them where they can find you, man.
All right. Well, you can find me at Opinion Haver on all your social media platforms. You can find me every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, where I can complain about TNA wrestling. I just saw they just posted the, inbox photos of the new action figures. So they showed the Moose action figure. And
for TNA?
even just seeing the picture.
Figures?
Huh?
They still got action figures, TNA?
Not still. Now they now have real.
Wait, then
they're made by Powertown Wrestling, and these
Who?
may be the best figures I've ever seen. I actually can't wait to see this thing in person. So
if I look this up, I could see a picture then.
look, just type in Moose Powertown Wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah. And anyway, yeah, you can hear us talk about Moose and how he's the only a la carte item in TNA, and Brandon and myself will remind you of that. And then every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, the Next Level Wrestling Review with Big Ray Hernandez, where we complain about NXT wrestling and how they're just somehow even more childish than AEW, but yet somehow still more professional. I don't know. Everybody sucks in different ways. That's basically what I'm trying to tell you. But I can tell you all about it on those shows that I mentioned. You can also hear the person that trained me on how to see wrestling with Rip Rogers on was it Rip Rogers Live? Wrestling with Rip Rogers Live Q&A. It's a joke they have. If you know, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, every concrete Friday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, you can interact and ask Rip Rogers a question, and or just leave comments on the videos, which they may pull up the comments on the videos. So it's very interactive and fun and a good old goofy time over there. So anything that you can do to distract Von Lilas from getting into arguments with Rip on the air would be great. And then, funny. Of course, Stevie Richards still retooling his he did not end up retooling his Patreon. He left the tiers how they are, but his curriculum is up. He's going to be he already broke down the psychology of a pro wrestling entrance. And you know, he's getting ready for his next curriculum in the series, while still doing all the same fitness stuff and tech stuff and his big fitness podcast every week. And so Stevie's doing lots of stuff. Rip's doing stuff. I'm doing stuff. Everybody's doing stuff. Jimmy, you're doing stuff. Did you look up that figure? Stuff.
I did. And you know what I was going to say? I'm actually quite impressed. I think you might be right. These look realistic, dude. Like big time, man. Like, yeah. I'm actually very impressed. I wonder, the Jordan Grace figure looks amazing too, dude. Even Eddie Edwards. I mean, what the hell? I'm not sure about Josh Alexander though, man. He looks a bit, I don't know. He's smiling too much. Like, if you know what I mean. But everyone else
switch out one of the faces and put a different head on him if you don't like the smiling face.
No shit. They're very impressive, man. And how much they go for Australian, for crying out loud? $76 a pop, bro.
Yeah.
That's expensive.
Well, this is handmade quality shit we're talking here.
I'm impressed. I'll give him that. I mean, that is possibly, I'm not just saying that. I truly mean it could be the best figures right now in all of wrestling. That's true. I had to see things believing, and you're right. It's weird. It's actually weird how good they look. Wow. Mm-hmm. I'm impressed.
Well, good for them.
Good for them, but I would only buy Moose. The others I couldn't care less.
Yeah, no, just don't buy the other. Don't buy Fat Eddie.
You can though. If you buy the whole lot.
You'll go to sleep. You'll go to sleep, and then you'll wake up in your fridge.
Yeah, thanks to Fat Eddie Edwards. I can't believe how much weight he's put on since the days of, like, you know, Ring of Honor and shit back in the day. I mean, come on. Jesus.
Well, anyway, what else you got going on, Jimmy?
Oh, yeah, anyway, if you want to follow me on the X, you can at DJ MassFX right there, and also at the PWC Network. But more importantly, for $5, not only do you get the realest talk in all of pro wrestling, but the best, and that means channelattitude.com. $5, you won't be disappointed. Also, HaminMediaGroup.podbean.com for all our affiliate shows, and at the PWCNetwork.podbean.com for other shows. And, you know, I think that's a wrap, Vet. I think we can just say, fuck it, let's go home. So, I am Jimmy T. That is the Vet, Jamie Williams. And you've been listening and watching the HMG Saturday Night Wreckage right here. Yeah, on channelattitude.com. And we're out. Peace.